Included subscription renews, cancel anytime.
WXOS HD1 East St. Louis 101 ESPN is driven by Auto Centers Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty and 30-day return. It's time to kickstart your morning with Randy Carricker, Brooke Grimsley, and Carrie Davis on the opening drive, presented by Sumner One.
Guess what?
Good morning, everyone, and happy hump day to you from the opening drive on 101 ESPN with Brooke Grimsley and Super Bowl champ Carrie Davis. I'm Randy Carricker. It is great to have you with us on a Wednesday. We got a lot coming your way. First of all, good morning, kids. How we doing? We're all happy today, aren't we?
Good morning. It's sunshine and lollipops.
I remember, guys, and we're headed towards my favorite time of year. It's the end of August. But I just remember the intensity of the Cardinals-Mets rivalries of the late 80s, and I feel exactly the same. CD, you grew up 1985 Cardinals, Mets and Cardinals rumbling down the stretch, two best teams in the National League.
I don't know that this is the same, though, Randy. I mean, I don't know.
Cards and Padres aren't doing it for you?
Not really.
We got coming up on the show today. Brooke?
I don't know if that's the comparison. I am just excited to see a win like that last night.
Yeah.
Smiles. I'm excited, not just about that comparison though.
Yeah. So we've got Ask Uncle Randy coming up. You can send in your text to the text line, which is brought to you by our friends at Air Comfort Services. 314-399-9646. 314-399-YO-HO for Ask Uncle Randy coming up in 15 minutes. At the bottom of the hour, Greg Amsinger, special Wednesday edition of Greg, because
you put him on the spot.
I put him on the spot. Yep.
Good job, Randy.
He's going to be in the air tomorrow, flying to St. Louis for Lindenwood's opener. Nice. And so we're going to talk to Greg on Wednesday today. He says he's ready to rock and roll. Howard Richards, our buddy from the Mizzou radio crew, is going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. Mizzou opening things up tomorrow night as well. And then later on in the show, 9:30, Adam Wainwright, who's been sensational his last two starts, Wednesdays with Waino. But we start with the Cardinals' dramatic, heart-rending 6-5 victory over the San Diego Padres last night at the ballpark. I don't know how I'm here this morning. I really don't.
You have to be excited.
Oh, man.
Just some energy in this group. There was a lot to like about that game. I know where we're at right now, and I get it. But at the same time, just seeing a moment like that, now would I rather have seen it in like June or something?
Sure.
Yeah. But
maybe.
It was just exciting to see that last night.
And the great thing about St. Louis is we dissect 162 baseball games. We treat every baseball game like it's a football game.
Yes.
And so last night, Zach Thompson on the mound, and the Padres take the lead in the first inning. Tatis Jr. with a sacrifice fly to score the first run. Then Nolan Gorman with a base hit to tie the game in the third inning. In the fourth inning, Zokar with a base hit to score a couple of runs to make it 3-1 in favor of the Padres. But then the Cardinals started coming back. Jordan Walker with a sac fly to make it 3-2 in the fourth. And then in the sixth inning, after
How about that?
After Campusano homered for the Padres in the top of the inning, the Cardinals started their comeback.
Contreras facing him. He's hit the ball the hardest of all the Cardinals. It hits this one a mile high to left. Soto going back to the warning track. Leaping try. Can't get it. A towering home run.
Woo-hoo. Wilson.
Yes. I thought Juan Soto was going to catch that.
I did too. I'm so glad we didn't get him, because he wouldn't have caught. He just wouldn't have. I'm so glad we didn't get him. Ha-Seong Kim with a sac fly in the eighth inning to make it a 5-3 game. And you're thinking, okay, Cardinals down 2 runs, eighth inning. It ain't happening tonight, kids. But Wilson Contreras is on our side, and Paul Goldschmidt reached base ahead of him.
Swing, fly ball, well hit center. Grisham back. It's gone. We're tied.
How about that?
How about that? 5-5. We go to the 10th inning. A great play by Mason Wynn to keep the ball on the infield and really save the game. And keep the Padres from scoring in the top of the inning. And we'll get to the Mason Wynn play later on in the program. But then in the bottom of the inning, with Mason Wynn, who made the last out at second base, Richie Palacios comes up, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but he bunts foul, strike one.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
CD,
I don't know.
A do or die sack bunt.
And then kind of a slug bunt. and then another foul. So it's 0-2. It's
coming out.
0-2.
Yes.
And he gets the bunt down against Josh Hader's slider.
So he swung. He swung.
No, he bunted the ball, Kerry.
He did.
He bunted.
Well, you had to give me a description of what.
Let's go back. Do you remember, like, when we were kids, like how Ozzie Smith would just hold the bat?
Yeah, with two hands. With the hand at the
That's
barrel.
exactly that happened.
He did that?
That happened.
Yeah. Really?
No way.
It really
In real life?
happened.
In real life?
A do or die sag bunt. That actually. How about that?
He sacrificed himself.
He did. It's a sacrifice. Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
That's.
I know. I could not believe it.
And then the Padres, Bob Melvin, intentionally walked Paul Goldschmidt. Smart move. Nolan Gorman was set to come up, but Tommy Edman was the pinch hitter. And the Cardinals are coming. Tra-la, tra-la.
Swing, drive down the left field line. Let's go home. Cardinals win it.
Chip, the call on Bally Sports, and the Cardinals do win at
Nice.
6-5 over the Padres.
Rocc found the sign that is hanging in the Cardinals locker room.
What's it say?
No bunts, hit dingers.
It seems like it, right? Is it a little ironic?
That's their motto.
Yeah. Is it ironic that yesterday we were discussing about the reliance on the long ball? And yes, you had the moments, especially Wilson Contreras. What a game for him. I mean, huge for him. And you had the home run, but also 2 home runs from him. But still, you had the small ball happening.
That was
and we
wonderful.
just wanted to see that this season. I think that was huge to see that. And Ollie, look, he pushed the right buttons last night. It worked out. Do you think that he told Richie to go for that, or was that Richie doing that on his own?
I hope it was him doing it on his own. I hope the analytics. I hope he said, "The hell with your analytics." I hope that somebody on the team had the guts to say, "You know what? Nah, I don't care what you all say."
Now, normally Josh Hader's throwing 135 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's hard.
But he bunted against the slider. Here is the Cardinals, the wonderful Cardinals skipper.
It's not easy. We felt like it was our best shot there in order to give Goldie or Eddie a chance there. And Palacios did his job. He stuck his nose in there and got it down, so very nice job.
He didn't say whether he called it or not.
No,
It worked
lefty
out.
on lefty too. That was a.
Did you order the code red?
Yeah, I did.
You damn right I did.
We came up with the decision, and it was 0-2, and we decided to do it.
And let's not dismiss Zach Thompson, who gave 4 innings, 3 runs in his 4 innings of work, and threw 91 pitches in the 4. He was not particularly efficient, but he, again, gave his team a chance to win. Too much work, way too much work for the bullpen. Thank goodness for Casey Lawrence. Holy smokes, has he been something. Every time he goes out there, he's giving the Cardinals 11 outs. It's crazy. He's 35. He's Roy Hobbs.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the Cardinals. They were 0-for when they were down after the 7th inning. They either had 0 wins or 2 wins. It was one or the other. I can't remember what Chip said.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a lot.
No.
After being down in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
good.
trailing.
And I always, guys, I'm old, so forgive me. Have we determined that it's Ho-Ho Romero or Yo-Yo Romero? Yo-Yo Romero.
Yoho Romero?
Yoho.
Yeah,
Yoho
Yoho
Romero.
Romero.
That's natural.
Yes.
So he struck out 3, didn't walk anybody, threw for 2 innings, allowed a couple of hits, and the Cardinals get the win for Yoho Romero. And they played the finale of the series today at the ballpark, 1:15 contest, as the Cardinals take on the Padres. How'd you like to? Well, I guess it's pretty good to be a Padre fan because that probably means you live in San Diego.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
All year long.
I think you just have to put that in,
Just
in
like
perspective.
perfect weather.
Yeah. You may have never won a World Series. You might have only been to a couple of World Series.
But you live in San Diego.
But you live in San Diego.
You start talking negatively, and then you look out the window, and you're like, oh, okay.
San Diego's
okay.
a beautiful place.
We can handle an extra inning loss to the Cardinals last
Why do you
night.
think Rocky's broadcasters are still doing their job?
You look out, see mountains.
Oh,
okay.
No. That's a little different. Because it could be 90 degrees one day and, snowing the next. That's not a... No. It's different. San Diego is like perfection. Weather, scenery.
Here's the thing. San Diego, the meteorologists on TV, they record the week's forecasts
There
on
you go.
Sunday
They
night.
don't even work for a week.
Here's
That
if you
must be
have
the
a,
easiest job out
It really is.
here's if you have a 60-win baseball team. Imagine if you looked out those windows right now and it was just mountains.
Yeah, no.
Picturesque.
Snow.
Miles Michaelis to the mound today. He'll be opposed by Rich Hill, 1:15 over at the ballpark. A couple of other notes. Alex Cobb of the Giants last night goes 8 2/3 before allowing a hit. He almost had the no-hitter. Man, it's amazing how often. It happened to Michael Waino his rookie year here.
Yeah.
How often a pitcher will go 8 2/3 hitless and then allow a hit.
That's tough. That's
It's
hard.
frustrating.
I was at that game, too.
I was too. It was a good one.
It was.
I thought he was going to be. Well, he wound up. He's really been good, Michael Waino. Hi, Michael. I know you listen to the show. But yeah,
he's listening.
He's with Padres. Yeah,
You think he's up?
Oh yeah,
You think he's up?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to
7 a.m.?
He's going to First Watch. He's walking over to the Clayton First Watch.
Okay.
He's got
All
the
right.
app on. Yeah, he loves us.
That'd be so. Imagine he is doing that exactly right now, and he's like, wait,
How the
he's
hell
like
do you
looking
know who's
around. He's like,
watching me?
why is there cameras on me?
So anyway, Alex Cobb almost threw a no-hitter for the Giants last night, but he didn't quite do it. And a couple of notes from the NFL. Number one, Jonathan Taylor not traded by the Colts, so he's going to be there, and he won't be able to play through week 4 because he's on the PUP list. I don't know what the Colts... Well, I don't even know that Jim Irsay knows what the Colts are doing right now, but they've got problems there.
I think, that was an intriguing thing that took place because you wanted to trade him if you're the Colts. I believe that they did. Whether or not they were looking for a first-round pick, they weren't going to get that because they don't even view him as a first-round pick in terms of how they want to pay him. But the fact that you would hurt your own team by not activating him off the PUP list is intriguing to me. You got a young rookie quarterback. You got a guy who is going to be starting his first game in the NFL. And Jonathan Taylor's the best player on that roster offensively for sure.
Yeah.
Why you wouldn't have him off of the PUP list and ready to play is mind-boggling to me. Maybe it is a sign that they do plan on trading him because you don't want him to get hurt, which would decrease his value, obviously, in a trade. So maybe there are talks that he will be traded. That would be the only reason why I could see them not activating him and keeping him on that PUP list so that he wouldn't play. But you are hurting your team in the process.
Yeah, that's what I don't exactly get what's going on. And also, just selfishly for fantasy, I was just watching and also looking for constant updates on whether or not I should take him. So who was it in our fantasy football league that took Jonathan Taylor?
I think it might have been BK.
I almost took him.
I was considering it too. Were you? And were you also on Twitter or X, I should say? Like, okay, is there any updates yet? Is there any updates?
I took him in another league, and now I'm...
He'll land somewhere. He'll be a
I
Dolphin.
got to wait 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trey Lance got started with Dallas. He said that he looked at his arrival in Dallas as a breath of fresh air. So the Cowboys he's going to be their number 3 quarterback to start. Cooper Rush is good. They gave Cooper Rush a big contract.
I heard Jimmy G talking about what was going on in San Francisco, and it was like he
not sure.
had some comments about it.
And then one other one for Kerry's team.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
2 punters for the Steelers.
If you don't have, listen.
It's a bold strategy,
You
Cotton.
gotta have 2 guys, right? You don't know. You got a short guy, you got a long guy, you got a guy that can spin it backwards, and then you got a guy that can kick it deeper. When you all, this is the new analytics that you all are missing out on. You clearly, the NFL clearly has not caught up to this. We're gonna keep 2 guys because we got 2 special guys that can do 2 special things.
Secret weapons, huh?
Weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Spectacular.
Are they?
What the hell is this?
Are they trendsetters?
What the hell is going on there?
It's the opening drive. It's 7:13. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. It is hump day. It is Wednesday. So we have Ask Uncle Randy coming your way. Get your text in to the Air Comfort Service text line. 314-399-9646, 314-399-YO-HO. Or, and this is fun, you can email AskUncleRandy at 101ESPN.com because you can send an email.
The email machine, huh?
Yeah, how about that? We got that rocking and
How
rolling.
about that?
Did you guys hear Chip do the How About That last
did.
night?
He did.
You didn't hear that?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Did he catch it? Wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did he say it?
I think he said it. You can hear it on there.
How about that?
How
Yeah.
about that?
He did it. So now we can clip that and compare the two.
I love this. This is something, and it's all because of Mel Allen. It's a wonderful thing. All right, coming up, we've got Ask Uncle Randy, 101 ESPN.
question for Uncle Randy? Let him dive into his infinite well filled with wisdom to find you answers. Text 314-399-9646. It's Ask Uncle Randy on 101 ESPN.
To Ask Uncle Randy in just one moment. Brooke, you're the shopper of this group. Are you familiar with the store Maurice's?
Maurice's?
Maurice's, M-A-U-R-I-C-E-S. Maurice's. Known for its fun and friendly customer service and trusted stylists, Maurice's offers a warm and welcoming experience in stores and is guided by its greater purpose of making a positive difference in the lives of women who are at the heart of its hometowns. New store opening in Chesterfield Commons.
Oh.
It's Boone's Crossing, Maurice's.
Good for them. Yeah. I have not heard of that.
Somebody sent me an email. Some PR
how about
person.
that?
So how about that? So there you go. So now another place to go out in Chesterfield Valley, Maurice's.
For some reason, I feel like it sounds like it wouldn't be in my age range. Let me check out.
Okay.
What do you think? It's too
Maurice. Some people call me Maurice.
She's checking it out.
It says women's clothing. Okay, well, I am a woman, so that's good.
Okay, that narrows it down.
I have never heard of
Randy,
this.
I've never known what
before.
competence means.
No.
I don't know either.
It's never a word I figured out.
Steve Miller Band, the best, sneaky best concert I ever saw when I was an usher, and it was back in the day. I like the Steve Miller Band, but man, they put on a show. It was like, it wasn't the best concert I ever saw, but it was the most surprisingly good concert I ever saw. I just didn't expect it to be good. Competence.
It's a made-up word.
Okay, good. I'm glad you looked that up. Okay, so now
all this time
we already have an Ask Uncle Randy answer. Let's go with another one though. What questions do we have up there on the text line? 314-399-9646. 314-399.
Yo ho.
What do we got?
CD, where were you?
I wasn't paying attention.
Don't worry about it.
It's okay. We were missing that depth. That other harmony.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I'll be better.
Hey, Uncle Randy, I remember as a kid helping my dad wash the hot rod green van while listening to Jack Buck, Mike Shannon, and Cardinal baseball. How did you and your dad spend time with baseball?
It was kind of the same thing. It was like out on the deck listening to Jack and Mike, or the radio was going in the basement. My dad had a lot of hobbies, so whatever hobby he would do, he loved to go fishing. He would take me and my brother up to Canada every summer, and you could get KMOX up there, Thunder Bay, Ontario, on the English River, and you could listen to Cardinal games up there. So we did that. Or he loved to work in his garden, or he loved to build model airplanes, and really during the summer, whatever he did, the radio was with him, and that's how we consumed it.
That's awesome.
Nice.
My dad told you my dad and I went to the Michael Walker game where he almost threw the no-hitter. We were at the NLCS when Jim Edmonds made that catch. He loved baseball, man. Like, he was a baseball junkie. And so I was living in L.A. when David Freese hit the home run. And he just called my phone screaming, like, "Are you watching it? Are you watching it?" Like, what are you watching it? You gotta see. I was like, oh, my God.
That's amazing.
He was losing. He was so excited, man. That was the same thing. Cardinal baseball was the thing that he loved most.
Well, and Brooke, with your dad too, sports is such a bonding experience between parents and kids.
It is, and that's what I grew up with. My dad loves sports radio, absolutely loves sports radio. So everywhere that we went, in the truck, he would have sports radio on. And the same thing, like if he was doing something outside, even probably right now, he's walking around, he has this like portable radio that he carries around where he listens to us every morning. That was just some of my biggest memories, is just, hanging out with him. He would always have it on and just reacting to it. It's such a special way to, I don't know, bond with a parent, and just all the highs and lows.
Say hi to
with
your
it.
dad. Come on.
Hi, Dad.
There we go.
Hey.
Steve.
Hey, Steve. Is your dog named after your dad?
Yes. Well, that and Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
So we've kind of, it was the best of both worlds. Two people that we really like. Stevie Nicks, of course,
Steve, yeah.
amazing. And then Steve, my grandmother would call him Stevie, so it works out.
I think Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks are going on tour together.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So So now you know, via radio.
Uncle Randy, I'm facing
You want me to explain? So I don't think I've ever told the morning show, so now you know via radio. When I started in radio, there was a guy named John McCormick at KMOX, the man who walked and talked at midnight. And he would sit, no lights on in the studio except one reading light. No shirt. He was like 90 years old.
No shirt.
All wrinkled. Like he might have weighed 110 pounds. No, sitting in the studio, just a reading light. And like at 1 or 2 in the morning, he'd say, now the temperatures from around the world. In Morocco, it's 74 degrees and sunny. In Peru, it's 81 degrees.
Oh.
You know, and he had every town. He had a name for, a nickname for every town. It was unbelievable. So one of the things he would say when he finished the weather is, so now you know via radio. And it was a swell guy.
Yeah.
You didn't really want to walk through the studio because you couldn't unsee it. But
couldn't unsee it. So what? Was there a reason behind the no shirt?
I have no idea.
Oh, so nobody knew. He would just do it?
Comfortable, yeah, he would just do it. Unfortunately, I never looked under the studio desk. I don't know.
How comfortable did he get, huh?
Good for you. This guy's my hero. Dear Uncle Randy, I'm facing a crossroads where I have 3 job opportunities that are all equally desirable in their own way. One is a very lucrative deal, but is back-breaking work. The second is where I'll be doing a lot of math, as well as have a significant amount of pressure on myself for average pay. And the third is a job which I am very passionate about the subject, but it pays the least of the 3. What would you do?
Live your passion. Live your passion. That is what I would do. Now, here's one thing, and if you listen for a long time, you understand that one of the tenets, one of the tent poles that I have in life is never work hard, okay? So the one that has back-breaking work, just leave that out of it.
Scratch that one, even though it pays the most.
Scratch it off then. The second one, did he say it has a lot of math?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
So if you're passionate about something, I tell you, you can never buy happiness. And if that job is financially worthwhile, even though it doesn't pay the overwhelming pay, where you'd have to give 100% and do the backbreaking work, or it doesn't pay as much as math, where you have to do math, I would suggest that...
What if he's got a math degree? What if he's a math major?
Then you're never going to avoid that one, huh?
That is like what he went to school for, or she.
Yeah, there are people that literally see math problems. They see math in 3D. If you're one of those people, then have a math job, all right? Because you can do math for other people, right? But if that's me, if it's Uncle Randy, I can't pull that off. I would get somebody else to help me with the math, somebody who does see the math in 3D. I do not. So another tentpole part of my life, and it's kind of like this one. It's along the lines of never give 100%, but it's always take the path of least resistance. And if you're making money at your passion, go for that. That would be Uncle Randy's suggestion. I know some people want to go for the money, but money's going to be hard. And that's resistance. I don't want resistance.
Well, especially, the second one sounds the worst because it involves math as well as a significant amount of pressure on myself for average pay. Yeah, that one's easy to eliminate, I think. Yeah, average pay, math, and a lot of work.
I agree.
Dear Uncle Randy and Cousin Carrie, am I a fool for having high hopes for the Illini basketball team this year?
CD?
Oh.
I don't think you are, by the way. Uncle Randy says no. Brad Underwood is a really good coach.
I like Brad Underwood.
I do too. I mean, regular on the program, friend of the show.
He is intense. Mm-hmm. And, some people can't handle the intensity, and sometimes maybe it may feel like it's crossing the line. But I think our AD, Josh Whitney, who was my former teammate, did a good job of hiring some coaches here in the last few years. I think Brad Underwood will figure it out. They've had some people leave the program over the last couple of years, and we'll see how they're able to rebound. I thought that they would be better the last couple of years and leave second-round exits in the NCAA tournament, which is frustrating. You would hope that they can get it turned around. Let's start with beating Mizzou at the bracket rights game, and I'll let you know then.
And it's hard to win the Big Ten, hard to win in the Big Ten, and it's hard to win in today's environment with the transfer portal and the one and dones that you still have, and you lose a guy, the big guy that came out last year from the Fighting Illini. We'll get the text. But then you lost Io a couple of years ago. I mean, you lost. It's not as easy to win at basketball on a consistent basis as it used to be.
About Cockburn?
No.
Yeah, that's a
Io
Kofi.
DeSumo and then Kofi. Yeah, Kofi left last year.
DeSumo was killing it, though. Love what he's doing.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a different one. Look at that. Uncle Randy, a little advice for the last texter. My husband is a middle school math teacher. Worst combo of the three. It's his passion. He has to do math, and it's really hard work, especially the night now. And don't go that way.
If he's a math teacher, he's not getting paid.
But it's his passion.
But he's a teacher, and teachers don't get nearly enough.
No,
they should
they
get.
don't.
And respect.
Yeah.
Math teachers, too. That's a hard one. Uncle Randy, my son just started preschool, and yesterday he got bit. How do I not strangle this other kid?
Hey, that's part of being a kid. You know, it's kids bite. Kids bite other kids, and you certainly don't want to strangle the other kid. You don't even want to punish the other kid, and you don't want to tell your kid to bite back because you don't know what that other kid has. Well, so it's the kind of thing where you just deal with
What the
it.
other kid has? What would they have? Oh,
You
never know.
Vaccinated.
I have a rule.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a rule.
Yeah.
If your kid bothers my kid, I bother you. Simple rule.
So it's a parent-to-parent thing.
Oh,
but it's
man,
preschool,
mano. Hey, your kid knows not to bite people.
Should.
Or maybe you want to get bit. I don't know.
Maybe he's a vampire.
Maybe he is.
Maybe
that's what
he identifies as a vampire
in his home. But if your kid bites my kid, me and you are going to have a conversation.
Did you ever have any mishaps in preschool? I fell off a wooden fire engine that I was riding. Boom! I got a scar on the bottom of my chin. I was like bleeding like a banshee.
Really?
My mom had to come and take me to the hospital.
wow.
I was at the YMCA. I was probably 7 or 8. I was a little bit older. We were jumping on mats like real high, so we kept stacking up higher and higher to see who can get up there. And the mats were right up against the wall, so obviously I eventually right dead smack into the wall, busted my lip. I had a knot on my head this big. They were looking at my lip bleeding. They were like, "Oh, your lip's bleeding." Damn, the lip. Look at this. Look at this knot on my head. It was huge. They were like, "Oh my God!" Yeah, it was a knot, a real knot.
I think this maybe showcases the differences between young girls and boys.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I like to go play outside and things like that, but also was very caution. I don't know. I didn't get into too much trouble like that, but I think from what I've understood, I think young boys are a lot more adventurous in that way than young girls.
They just don't have common sense.
I was fine with just hanging out and, drawing or playing tennis or I don't know. I never got into anything like that.
No mishaps.
Yeah, perfect little angel Brooke.
I'm not saying I was a perfect angel at all times, but
I got to believe Matthew Rocchio had a mishap that caused some bleeding.
Not in preschool.
In life, though.
Oh, yeah, I stacked 1,000 stitches before I was 10 years old.
There you go.
So, I was, I got myself in a lot of dumb situations. I was in the hospital a fair amount of times.
Oh, man.
Yeah, don't get pushed through windows, folks.
Yeah, the all-time mishap story is, and we'll get to Greg Amsinger in a moment, but it was Brendan Shanahan who got slashed in the mouth during the second period of a game here in St. Louis, last game, I think, of the 94 season. Maybe 93. And so his lip was completely like a half-inch down, just completely sliced. He's bleeding. You could see the trail of blood as he goes to the dressing room. And they're in there furiously working on him, the Blues medical staff, trying to fix him up. Oh, by the way, he came into the game with 49 goals, with 49 goals, 98 points, and something like 189 penalty minutes, whatever it was. So he just gets slashed, and he's on the room between the second and third periods, gets all stitched up, and just 140 stitches or whatever. Chaser comes over to him, and Shanny says to him, "How do I look?" And Chaser said, "Buddy, all I can tell you is more chicks for Chaser."
oh,
Shanny comes out, so the third period starts, and Shanny makes this dramatic entrance like 3 minutes in, goes out, and he had already assisted on a goal, goes out, scores a goal, gets in a fight to get to 50 goals, 100 points, 200 penalty minutes. First guy in NHL history to do it.
There you go.
With the chopped up lip. He was unbelievable. And that's a hockey player, baby.
There you go.
Shanny.
add another one. Another example of hockey players just being insanely tough.
Oh, ridiculous. Yeah. And the Blues actually wound up getting great value in getting Chris Pronger for him. We got lucky to get Prongs. Hi, Prongs. Prongs is going to be playing in the Ascension Charity Classic Legends Series.
Oh, nice.
So looking forward to that. And he's going into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks. So we got to get Prongs on the show. Let's effort him. Matthew, you're the producer.
Yeah.
I just there we go. He's writing it down.
There you go.
Coming up next year on 101 ESPN, Greg Amsinger, MLB Network's lead anchor, a product of the Lindenwood University. He's next on 101 ESPN.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals last night with a walk-off win, thanks to Tommy Edman, 6-5 over the Padres. They will try to win a series this afternoon with a 1:15 first pitch. It'll be Miles Michaelis, the righty for the Cardinals, facing off against a lefty for the Padres, Rich Hill. Also coming up tonight, it is St. Louis CitySC. They are back in action hosting Dallas FC. It's a 7:30 kickoff for that game tonight from City Park. That is your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff. Find your road and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
All right, we were talking in our last segment about preschool mishaps and Carrie jumping up over some mats into a wall and banging his head and causing a lip. I had a chin issue that obviously caused a lot of stitches. Greg Amsinger, MLB Network from the Lindenwood University, a native of St. Louis, noted Cardinal fan, joins us now. And Greg, we know you for your hair, obviously, but also your rugged good looks. Was there anything in preschool, maybe as a youngster, that threatened that beautiful face of yours?
Yeah, her name was Kate Bernard. She was kicking her leg back, and she was leaning against a chair. and I was walking with muffins. I had to pass out birthday muffins. It was my birthday, and I turned around, and she smoked me in the mouth with the back of the shoe. It knocked out two of my front teeth on my birthday. On my birthday. This was actually kindergarten. It wasn't pre-K. But real quick, I got the best pre-K story ever. So my daughter's going to this bougie pre-K in Manhattan. And we are by far the youngest parents in this room, okay? It's the first day. Now, the day before, we watched a movie, and a guy gives a movie star the middle finger, right? He flicks him off. And my daughter asked me what that's about. I go, it's something you should never do. So we're sitting on circle time on the rug, and all the parents are sitting in, like, theater-style seating. Teachers are on the rug. My daughter's sitting there facing the entire crowd, right? And all of a sudden, this little middle finger starts popping up.
No.
And me and my wife are like, no, stop. We're like panicking completely. My daughter flicks off 40 parents on the first day of pre-K.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
That's amazing.
That's classic. That's great.
Wonderful.
It's great, right? Yeah,
that is
it's
fun.
a reflection of my parenting. It's a reflection of my parenting, I think.
Yeah. Hey, what'd you think of that bunt by the Cardinals last night?
You know what? Small ball works for me, man. Do anything you can. Anything you can. There were a lot of weird things that happened last night. A curtain call for Contreras. Who saw that coming?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, he's the beloved, which is a good thing. I will say this. I was looking at the dugouts of both teams, and I'd rather be a Cardinal than a Padre right now. Think about that for a second. Their vibe is terrible. They had no life in that dugout at all. Fernando Tatis is sitting on the top step with a towel on his head, and it looks like he's not interested in anything going on in the game. I really think the Cardinals have a better mojo, believe it or not, than even the San Diego Padres. I'm trying to find out which team deserves the Bummer of the Year award. And there are many teams in play for this. You've got the Yankees as a disaster. You got the San Diego Padres, all the moves that they made. You got the New York Mets, Scherzer and Verlander were supposed to be epically good. Then you got the Cardinals, who had 2 MVP finalists from last year. And then you got the Angels, who decided to hold on to Ohtani, and then it became the worst baseball decision in the last 100 years at the trade deadline. So I don't know which one of those teams is going to take home the Bummer of the Year, but I got to come up with a trophy. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I got to come up with a trophy for that.
Greg, were you surprised with Adam Wainwright's last start, knowing the struggles that he had the previous few starts?
You know, he didn't have anything to get swing and miss, but he grinded 6 innings. The fact that the Cardinals couldn't get him the win is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
From everything I'm hearing, they're going to do everything they can to get him those wins, those 2 wins. And you might see him pop up in the 3rd inning of a game where the Cardinals are winning 5-0. They're going to get creative. They're going to try to see if they can get him to 200 career wins. The way he competed the other night, he mixed his stuff up a bit more. I think the sequencing was better. I do believe Adam Wainwright will end his career with 200 wins. I think we're all pulling for that.
I think everybody's pulling for that for sure. Well, Greg, of course, we have to ask you about the big news coming out yesterday about what in the world are the Angels doing, putting 6 impending free agents on waivers, potentially, it's a salary jump, of course, which is just very intriguing. Can you break that down, and what is the likelihood, you think, of maybe the Cardinals trying to pick some of those guys up? I think a lot of people are looking at Giolito.
Well, I think, look, if you can land a guy and get him in your uniform and show him how great the culture is before you talk turkey, before you talk about a long-term contract extension, it can only help. So bringing in Giolito, even though they're a last-place team, I think it makes sense. Spend money to make money. It makes sense to get him in the uniform, show him the culture, show him that we're really interested in you. He hasn't been, knocking everyone down. He hasn't been striking everybody out as a member of the Angels, but he's still got premier stuff. As for why the Angels are doing this, Perry Manassian has egg on his face. I don't believe he wanted to hold on to Ohtani. I don't believe he wanted to make the moves with the Rockies to get Grichuk and Crone and go all in. I don't think that's what he wanted to do. But ownership is a completely different animal. And to me, this reeks of an ownership decision to go all in and try to get to the playoffs to help keep Ohtani, who's his cash cow. And it reeks of another ownership decision of, oh, hell, it didn't work. Well, I don't want to pay these guys $7 million for the last month. Get rid of them all. This is an owner overriding the instincts of a front office executive. And it's unfortunate because as of right now, I think they're a mess. I think the Angels are a complete mess. I don't know how they move forward without a complete rebuild. And I think Ohtani isn't coming back, but it's going to move on to Mike Trout. What do you do with Mike Trout? To pay a guy this much money and have such a bad product on the field, we're going to see the Angels taking headlines in baseball for the next year and a half, I think.
Greg, there are a lot of really good things about the wild card in baseball, and the wild card is never going away. It's going to be here. However, how fun would it be if you had the Rangers, Mariners, and Astros, who are all tied for first in the AL West right now? How fun would it be if only one of those teams made the playoffs?
That's nice. I agree. That would be great. I do miss the one wild card game. Anytime you have an opportunity for a lose and go home situation, it feels like a game 7. I'm into that. They just got so much pushback. They being the commissioner's office, from the Players Association, from the players themselves, that this isn't fair. The organizations didn't like it all coming down to one game. I hear you on that. But I like expanded postseason, Randy. I really do. I was a purist for a while, but to see all of these fan bases get into it. I mean, I went on the air the other day. I think it was a Saturday. First off, why am I working on a Saturday? We can talk about that a little later. But then I look at the standings, and I'm like, wait a minute. The Seattle Mariners made up 7.5 games in 10 days. Now they're in the playoffs. If the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs in 10 days. So I was like, Washington Nationals fan, hold on to your seats, okay? There's 7.5 games out of a wild card spot. This was as of Saturday. Baseball is a wild game, and because of the expanded postseason, you can make up ground. The unthinkable can happen, and I'm into that. Growing up in the 80s, knowing that your team was out of it by a week after the All-Star break, to me, was a bummer. So I like the fact that hope still prevails and teams can squeak in.
I like it too, but I don't think they need to be mutually exclusive because it was so much fun. I was talking earlier about the Mets-Cardinals rivalry in the 80s, where one team was going to the playoffs and the other team, which was probably the second-best team in the league, was going home. Or the 93 season where both Atlanta and San Francisco, I think they both wound up winning 103 games, and one of them had to go home. I love that drama too. I love having the expanded playoffs, but that drama was sensational where you could have the two best teams in baseball, or at least in a league, rumbling down the stretch, and one of them was going home.
Yeah, now to me, I'm looking at it from a television executive perspective.
Yes, you are.
That sounds pretty dramatic. Like, wait a minute. You're going to have the New York Mets overflowing with superstars. Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez. This team moves the needle. You're telling me I've shelled out all this cash for postseason television rights, and they might not even make it? That is where I see.
That's true.
We're trying to grow it. We're trying to get as many stars in postseason baseball as possible, and we want people to tune in. I think the more stars, the more markets, the better in the month of October.
Greg, what are your plans when you get here this week? You're just going to the football game. You're not able to stop by and see us. We wanted to see you, Greg. We were looking forward to seeing you in studio, and unfortunately, you don't have plans for us.
You know, honestly, I didn't get a haircut, so it's not nice and tight. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to see. The style isn't working. I'm overbooked with golf, so I really haven't found out time to go get a haircut. So other than that, I don't know what I bring to the party. So I don't think you're missing all that much. I really honestly don't think so.
All right, just checking.
Well, we were waiting. I mean, we had like a present for you, anything. We thought for sure you were coming, Greg.
Whoa, a president? He didn't mention president.
Now we're talking.
Now you'll never know. Yeah, you'll never know because you had to be here in person to get it, Greg.
I'm swimming by. I can take an Uber. I can keep the Uber car running and running to get my president. I can figure something out. We'll get creative.
Okay, so we got to know why you were working on a Saturday.
Bad agent. I've been mad at him for a while. I've been mad at him for a while. He needs to get back to pressing the pen on the paper. No, listen. I got a great agent. When you go through, networks go through all the ebbs and flows, and they try to find out what works and ratings at peak and whatnot. Well, believe it or not, baseball is a heavily watched sport on weekends. I didn't know this for 14 years. So fans like watching baseball on Saturdays and Sundays. So they pulled me aside. They were very cordial about it. And they're like, we would like to squeeze you into one of these 2 days, Saturday or Sunday. And I agreed to it. And a couple of weeks ago, it was me and Albert Pujols in our smaller studio called Studio K. And I go, Albert, there's way too much firepower in this closet right now. The two of us in the studio, this is not right. But I'll do whatever. I'm a team player. You know that. And they also coaxed me into doing it through a gift. So they gave me a gift, and it made me work, and I'm fine.
I like it. And it allows you to come to watch your beloved Lindenwood Lions start off their season tomorrow night at Hunter Stadium.
I will be there. I will be very loud. Listen to my smoker voice. I will be screaming all over the campus. I really look forward to it. Unfortunately, the schedule doesn't play out that I can come to a lot of games this year. But if I could come to the first home game to kick the season off, I'm all in. Randy, I know you'll be there, and I'm going to be wearing my Lion Pride gear. So show up, say hi, because I'm going to be kicking up the college football season in St. Charles, Missouri.
All right. And are you doing MLB tonight?
Yeah, I'll be on.
Okay.
A little baby show. Yeah, they're making it up to me, 9 to 9:30, I think, Eastern.
Okay. Don't do like an Alex Cobb. Don't only give me 27 minutes of programming. Give me the full 30.
I won't let you down. My final strike will be better than his. My final strike will be better than his.
You're the best. Thanks.
See ya.
See you tomorrow. That's Greg Amsinger, MLB Network from the Lindenwood University and a product of St. Louis, Missouri.
Nice. Greg is hilarious. If only he would have come here to see the amazing present. He's missing out. Now,
You guys are so mean to him.
Yeah, you guys
are so mean
Are
to
we
him.
going to have to just eat the welcome Greg cookie cake ourselves?
Yep.
Kind of seems like it, right, guys?
Seems like it's on us now.
Yep. Sorry, pal. Take it or leave it. Coming up, 314-399-9646. 314-399. Yo-ho! We've got Tioli next on 101 ESPN.
nothing. We put it out there. If you like it, you can take it. If you don't, send it right back.
Get your text into 314-399-9646 and give us your take it or leave it.
Brought to you by Gloria Lou Realty. Visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com and start packing.
That's my final offer. Take it or leave it.
Brooke Grimsley, Kerry Davis, Matthew Rocchio, Randy Carricker. Okay, I sent you guys this text yesterday from Peggy Kaczynski on X.
Oh, no.
And this is in regards to the shooting that happened at Guaranteed Rate Field where the White Sox play. And Peggy reported on the X. She said, as I reported on ESPN 1000 just now, the shooting at Guaranteed Rate Field during a White Sox game was indeed an accidental discharge by one of the women grazed by the bullet. She reportedly snuck the gun in past metal detectors, hiding it in the folds of her belly fat. Take it or leave it. While you are mildly disgusted, you also want to see her.
Nah, leave it. I'm
You want to see what she looks like?
I just don't. Who sneaks a gun into it?
Under the folds of the belly fat.
Come on.
I still don't even understand, because wouldn't it still go off even underneath the fat?
Ideas.
You'd think, but I guess not. Because, like, when I got pins in my wrist, when I broke my wrist, they gave me a card. Said, you're going to set off airport metal detectors. So I had to have a little card. So you would think maybe her belly fat folds are really large. I don't know.
Man.
But yeah, you would have thought it would have set it off.
A lot.
She has to be pretty large.
I would say so.
I'm just gonna go leave it on. Also, just when people find ways to get a gun past a security, don't tell everyone how they did it. Well, maybe keep their cards close to the
They
vest.
gotta figure it out. They have to.
But don't publicly tell it. Don't tell people.
Oh, they're gonna get it out.
Keep that one close to the vest.
Yeah.
Some scofflaw is loading up on Reese's and McDonald's right now.
This is my chance. So bad.
Rocc, this is for you, obviously. FIBA basketball world USA team won yesterday. They beat a team 110-62. Take it or leave it. Michael is the greatest basketball player of all time because they named a country after him.
There you go.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Add that to the list.
You don't have a LeBron, do you? Team USA beat Jordan yesterday.
There you go. Just adds to the case. Rocc, care to respond? How do you beat that?
Well, Carrie apparently never met my friend Chad from high school.
Oh, no.
I don't know if he's better.
I don't know if he's better than Jordan.
Just saying.
Yep.
Talking about getting countries named after you. Just saying.
I thought the country was named Michael, and I hadn't heard of
You were like, wait a minute.
Well, little did we know that there's a country named after Georgia Frontiere for bringing the St. Louis Rams here and winning a Super Bowl. How about that?
Okay, so math and geography, two things that we maybe shouldn't get into here.
To make those jokes, you have to know geography, Brooke, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying that. I'm saying Randy with wondering about Michael.
Credit for that one.
Wait, that happened.
Oh, gosh. So we were talking about waivers with the Angels earlier, but also the Yankees placing Harrison Bader on waivers.
Great.
Take it or leave it. Take it. The Cardinals should find a way to bring him back, or leave it. They shouldn't. I'm going to get your takes first.
I'm going to leave it. They've had enough outfielders. They got enough guys.
And they got infielders in the outfield.
You got a star, a gold glove second baseman patrolling the center field for you. Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there are teams actually that are in the playoff hunt now. I don't know. I can't imagine the losing team is going to pick up Harrison Bader. He's hurt all the time. It never really turned into the offensive force that the Cardinals hoped he would be. He's terrific defensively when he's out there. But how often is he out there? That's one of the reasons that the Yankees put him on waivers. But I would think that he would be a better fit elsewhere rather than St. Louis.
I wasn't. Well, okay, take it or leave it. He'll end up in the Cardinals division. So maybe with the Cubs, maybe with somebody else.
I'm going to leave that.
No?
You never know. I was surprised just to see some people wanting to see him back. And look, I love the energy that Harrison Bader brings. I just think the injuries, we've seen that enough with the outfield season.
Yeah. How about the Houston Astros for Harrison Bader?
Hmm.
Be a good fit.
Yeah.
They're going to overwhelm him with analytics. He doesn't like being overwhelmed with analytics.
I want to get we should do a poll of Major League Baseball players that actually appreciate the analytics the way that front offices do.
Yeah.
I'd like to know that number.
It's two different questions.
Why? I want to know. No, I want to know the number of. I want to know the percentage of players that are in tuned and enjoy the analytics.
There's a lot of guys who enjoy analytics. There's a lot of guys who probably think their team takes it too far, though.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's guys who love getting certain numbers.
They understand the analytics in terms of how it gets them paid, but in terms of actually playing the game, how do you?
And how much they utilize it in their everyday.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple of texts in.
Take it or leave it. The Cardinals managers and coaches are still up right now trying to figure out how a bunt produced a run.
I'll take it.
They didn't sleep last night.
No.
They're trying to figure out what Richie did. What the
hell? There?
What is he doing? What is this thing he's doing with his bat?
So here's the thing. If you
what is that?
If you get
that was illegal.
It should be illegal. If you
we
get a
legally could do that?
high on base guy, and I gave this yesterday, and actually John and Ricky were talking about it on the radio broadcast last night about how teams don't use the sacrifice. And the statistics for when you score first are overwhelming when you score first. The team that scores first wins a vast majority of the time in baseball. And I was talking to you guys yesterday about it. In the first inning, Jim Leland, great manager. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he should be. But he had a really good middle of the lineup. He had Van Slyke hitting third. He had Bonilla hitting fourth. And then I think Sid Bream hitting fifth. But Bonds was their leadoff hitter, and Bonds was getting on base about 40% of the time. And Jay Bell could bunt, their shortstop. So Bonds would get on, Bell would bunt him over. 39 sacrifices in 1990 for a team that won 95 games. And then inevitably, Van Slyke or Bonilla or Bream would get the guy home, would get Bonds home. I don't know why teams don't do that more now. I would.
You think that to torture like analytics guys, they make them watch 80s and 90s baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Sit down and watch this.
They can watch Whitey Ball. And not
anything but that.
Not only did the 1985 Cardinals wind up with 314 stolen bases, but they also wound up leading the league in runs scored.
Wow.
It's got to be
just full on Clockwork Orange, and it's just Ricky Henderson's record-setting steals highlight.
No, he's gonna get thrown out. We're gonna waste it out.
Yeah. And hold on, let me find the. I'll get another number for you here. Sacrifice hits for the 1985 Redbirds, 70. 70 sacrifices for that team. And the Cardinals now have, 15 or something like that. Just a little different.
Tape after tape of Bob Gibson facing the order for a third time.
Oh, man. They are losing just no, he can't. Not again.
Yeah, we're old school. Okay, one more.
Take it or leave it. Zach Johnson with the easy route by giving JT a captain's pick. He just wanted to satisfy his boys club. JT is going in on name alone.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We discussed that with Jay. Was that a week or two ago about the possibility about Justin? No!
Nice.
I keep trying to sneak it past you guys. About a week back, we discussed that with Jay Delsing and asked him about Justin Thomas and just maybe some of the history that he had been there, if that factor in. So I would take that. I think that definitely factored into it.
JT is a leader among that group, and he brings, even though the golf hasn't been great this year, he brings, as Scott Boras would call it, the prestige factor to the Ryder Cup team. And he can hit the daylights out of. I took my kids one time to BMW Championship at Medina. I was wearing that shirt yesterday. And JT is 309 yards from the pin. And he weighs 150 pounds. Swings from his heels. I mean, he just swung the daylights out of the club and got it within 10 feet of the pin. He's got extraordinary talent. And he takes his parents on vacations. So he's a great guy. Great guy. So he should be on the team.
I'm with it. Why not? They weren't going to win.
How about that?
They weren't going to win in Europe.
How about that?
They weren't going to win in Europe anyway.
They're going to win. They're in Italy.
They've never played.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think they're going to win.
Just have to get special golf balls. Coming up, has CitySC surpassed the Cardinals in regards to how much attention you're paying to them? That's next on 101 ESPN. I've been telling you about Clubhouse Turf and them being the exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens here in St. Louis. And a Celebrity Green is a beautiful synthetic green in your backyard that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing your putting or your chips or your pitches or your bunker shots. Now, each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design. You can create a replica hole like the 12th at Augusta or the 2nd at Belle Reve. Clubhouse Turf can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends are going to enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf at 314-834-2343, 314-834-2343, or find them on the web at clubhouseturf.com. And in addition to the great golf, they offer different kinds of turf that includes a complete line of synthetic turf installations like sport turf or playgrounds, pet turf, and lawn turf. It really is amazing what Clubhouse Turf can do for you. They are St. Louis' exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens, 314-834-2343, or on the web at clubhouseturf.com.
Fresh perspective on the day's top stories. It's the Opening Drive's Fresh Take.
Brought to you by Schnucks Rewards. Reward yourself. Earn 2% back on every purchase with the Schnucks Rewards app.
From City, and they play Dallas tonight over at City Park. It is at City Park, right? Pretty sure. They have loaned midfielder Isaac Jensen to Viborg FF. He's going to play in Daneland for a while.
Denmark is
Denmark.
It's Danish. league. Denmark is the country.
Chocolate chip Danish are the best.
I don't think that's what he was referring to.
Oh, okay.
Adjective form for people from Denmark.
They are.
To a pastry?
Yum.
What is this, a school for ants?
Sign me up for that. Oh, okay. All right.
And then they loaned another player, a young player yesterday, right, Matthew?
Yes, they loaned out one of their goalies to USL side Indy 11, one of their City 2 goalies.
So he plays on
the Ute side.
The what?
Yeah, he's one Ute. One Ute goalie.
Okay. Okay, good. So I'm intrigued.
That's one of my favorite movies ever.
It's one of the all-time greats. It is one of the all-time greats. I am, and I don't profess to be an expert of the beautiful game. I'm not. I'm a novice, okay? But I love CitySC. I love watching their games. And I'm on a golf course on Saturday. And a couple of the guys were just as completely zoned in on St. Louis CitySC rather than the Cardinal game. And I'm wondering how many people that has become the case for when it's CitySC or the Cardinals, and the Cardinals play this afternoon, so you won't have that conflict. But if it's CitySC or the Cardinals, are you all in now because of the way the Cardinals are going and the way CitySC is going? Are you all in on soccer? I have kind of reached that point once we got to past the trade deadline. If there was a conflict and both games were being played at once, and I wasn't in a place where I could watch both at once, I lean towards the soccer team.
I don't know that. I mean, I think it's because City is playing so well right now and the Cardinals are not. I think that may be part of the reason why you have more people tuned in or leaning in that direction. I don't know that it's necessarily taking over what the Cardinals are or what they're doing. There are still a lot of things in soccer that, you know, are different from other sports, like loaning a player off for an entire year where he won't be on your roster. Like, that's not something you would see from the Cardinals, loaning a player to another country for an entire year because that's their main club.
So we don't get a Rosarena back is what you're telling me.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, we can try. We can try. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Somebody just texted NCD from the 636 that CitySC soccer and Cardinals baseball are like separate. Food groups are like separate. Well, there's a period, sorry. Shouldn't have been there. But are like separate food groups. The Cardinals are like steak, meat, and potatoes. Soccer is like pasta. You enjoy them both for what they are, but you have to eat them differently. So it's kind of with what you're saying. It's just two very different things. Yeah. I do think, though, with the way that the inaugural season has gone with CitySC, just surpassing all the expectations nationally for what people were thinking that any inaugural team would be able to accomplish in their first season, I think that says a lot about CitySC. The fans are very passionate. I tell everybody, because I've had some people ask me, have you gone to a CitySC game? Like, should I go out to a CitySC game? I'm like, you need to do it.
Yes.
You need to do it. Because I know not everybody is a soccer fan. There is already a huge soccer history here in St. Louis that is very rich, very passionate. The Lugans, also everything that they've done to just really keep that momentum coming into this with CitySC and the fan base. I mean, the energy at CitySC is something that is so different than what you experience at Cardinals and Blues games. And it just feels like a very unique experience to go to. And their style of play is extremely exciting to watch, because I think some people who aren't fans of soccer think, well, I don't want to go. You know, I've watched on TV and it could be a little slow at times. With CitySC, their style of play, it's so intense and aggressive and exciting to watch.
That's what fan I am.
Here's a text from the 618. I prefer to watch soccer, but unfortunately don't have Apple TV, so I got to watch the Cards.
That's where we're headed.
Do you think that could be a reason or part of the reason why people are more in tune to the Cardinals, because it's accessible. Much easier to be accessed. So I think that has something to do with it as well. Watching, you have to search and pay to watch St. Louis City unless they've been on free TV a couple of times. Right. But if not, it's you got to pay for it.
Right. And for the hardcore soccer fans, they have no problem paying for it. It's that's where they're going to make their expenditure, probably at the expense of the Bally app and watching Cardinal baseball or cable or whatever. And by the way, one of the reasons for that is that the soccer fan by definition, is younger. The average MLS fan is 40 years old. The average MLB fan is 57. So I would say the average 40-year-old, so for every 45-year-old, you've got a 35-year-old, is much more likely to be in tune with purchasing Apple TV and making that commitment that way, and probably not watching baseball at this point. But congratulations to CitySC, and we know the Cardinals aren't going anywhere. We know the Cardinals are always going to be king of this town, but in this particular year and at this particular time, because of the novelty and because of the success of the soccer team, I do think that it's a much closer thing in terms of popularity than I thought it would be.
I agree.
It is.
I think when the first time City was on TV on Fox against the Cardinals, they beat them on a Saturday afternoon.
We need a Rocc cam in here. Rocc read a text. No, it needs to be on at all times. Rocc read a text and was so disappointed in the texter's response. He asked, do you know anybody who has watched Ted Lasso? The texter replied, I don't know who that is.
I think the texter's lying.
Shook his head in such disgust.
Because I'm not believing him.
What?
I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
What did I just read?
The texter said, I don't know anybody who has Apple TV. And then I asked him, well, do you know anyone who watched the Ted Lasso show? And he's like, I've never heard of that show. I've never heard of that person. And I'm also saying you're lying.
It's a great show.
He's lying. He's heard of the show.
How?
Because it was a sensation for 3 straight years.
That doesn't mean that.
You can't. If you are in any way plugged into the cultural zeitgeist of America, you know what Ted Lasso was.
Have you seen Suits? Have you watched Suits? I just learned about Suits 3 weeks ago.
Yes, but it hit Netflix and you immediately knew what it was because everyone was talking about how
it was really good. Yeah, but it stopped what year? 2017.
Yeah, but Suits was on USA Network. It was never Ted Lasso big. It was a small time show.
It's a good show though.
It's a fine show, but it was small time. Ted Lasso was the biggest thing in pop culture for like
apologies,
chunks
Matthew.
of 3 years. That's all I'm saying.
I do apologize for my take on Suits.
Well, I mean,
in comparison to
if you knew
Ted Lasso.
If you cared about the Royals, you would have known years ago. Carrie, come on, Meghan Markle, jeez.
I've known about the Royals since I was a kid.
Right,
Pinella,
Kansas City. What are we talking about?
Bianca Lana, Freddie Patek, Whitey Herzog.
There's so many people texting in saying they don't know who Ted Lasso is, and I'm very surprised. I thought that it was just a big
Lasso?
hit. What is?
No clue what Ted Lasso is. See?
Performative.
It's a great story.
Performative texting.
I love that Rocc knows all. Mm-hmm. Rocc knows everything.
You would know Ted Lasso. Do you just have the tie? A tie?
Yeah, that's
in America. A tie would be known as a sign of the apocalypse.
I was on a plane,
but you were aware. But you were aware of people talking about it around you. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've heard of it,
and that's all I'm saying.
But it was good. The couple of episodes I watched was really good.
I'm not saying he's never. I'm not saying that if you said I never watched it last, I'd call you a liar. He's saying he'd never heard of it and he doesn't know anybody who has Apple TV. I'm saying. You know someone who does.
You don't know who he knows or she knows?
He's texting into a radio show. He knows some people who has Apple TV.
Fair enough. Coming up next year on 101 ESPN, we've got a bird watch for you. And the Cardinals did win last night, so it's going to be a real bird watch. We aren't even going to allow bird droppings today.
No?
We are. No, we're going to be a happy group. Okay. We are going to only do... Yeah, we're only going to do that next on 101 ESPN. Hey, I want you to head to the Fenton Barn Grill for lunch today. Say hi to our friend Alicia over there, and Kelly is there, and Megan, and Jamie, and Colleen. The whole crew will be on hand, and they will have the most delicious lunch that you can imagine. Here we are, headed towards the last holiday of the summer. It's going to be Labor Day, so you might want to try that pulled pork wrap over there at Fenton Barn Grill. Carolina-style pulled pork, cheese blend, red onions, and pepperoncini with barbecue sauce. It is absolutely delicious. And my first and foremost recommendation when you go to the Fenton Barn Grill is to get those trashed wings. Best trashed wings in town, best trashed wings you'll ever have. They are absolutely delicious, and their signature award-winning golden sauce at the Fenton Barn Grill, it is absolutely luscious. You're going to have great people. You're going to have great food. You're going to be watching sports. You're going to be talking sports with all the other people at Fenton Barn Grill. You'll enjoy it for a business lunch. Maybe you're just looking for a place to stop before or after golf or a run or something like that. Maybe you just want to stop by and have a great meal with a friend or loved one. It's the Fenton Barn Grill. Just go to 701 Rudder Road, set your GPS for that, and you will have a fantastic experience. And tell them Randy sent you when you go to the Fenton Barn Grill.
Flying down to the field to give you the latest on your St. Louis Cardinals. This is Bird Watch on the opening drive.
Brooke, Carrie, Randy, and it is time for a little Bird Watch on 101 ESPN. You know what, guys?
What do you got, Randy?
This is happy. This is happy. Yeah, we were 20 games under 500 yesterday, but we're only 19 games under 500 right now.
Okay. Trending in the right direction.
Skipper, it's been a rough year. So you get a dramatic win like that. How's that feel?
Really damn good. To hear the crowd get into it and give them a reason to get into it, to walk somebody off, to come back from behind, all of it feels good. And we wish we would have done more of it, but we got a month left, and we got to continue to fight the way we're fighting.
Yeah, keep fighting like you had the 4 games before last night. What?
That doesn't matter. They won.
Why the shot?
It's not a shot. They were fighting.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it should. Congratulations to them, because that's, you know what, things are spiraling downward, and to get one, it's a rare victory. I mean, the Cardinals are 57-76. It's rare, and when you have the good feeling from a game like that, you should savor it.
That team is fatigued. They're tired, and not physically tired. They're mentally tired. Even the celebration wasn't as joyous as you normally see from a walk-off hit. It was, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was. They're thrilled that they got the win, but they are fatigued, and losing can drain you. It takes it feels like it takes years off of your life when you lose in the manner in which they are losing this season. Good for them to get a win. Let's see if they can repeat it today.
I agree.
150.
I think just seeing any of that, just being able to play the small ball, and
what's that?
CD, I forgot about it for a little bit, honestly.
Chicks dig the long ball. Did
you guys like that text?
I love that text. Yeah.
Chicks dig the long ball and the small ball.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Anyways, so my bird watch is going to be Wilson Contreras, guys. And somebody texted this in earlier. Yes, we need to clap to that, because Willson Contreras, what he was able to do, especially in the second half of the season, Ollie Marmol talked about it last night. You can even tell Willson in his post-game comments, he spoke about it. This is the Willson Contreras, especially offensively, that you were hoping to get and what the Cardinals were hoping to get. Everything that happened in the first half of the season, we've discussed it. That was terrible what happened. Everybody knows that. But the way that Willson Contreras has continued to handle himself throughout all of this, I always say you look at the player, how they handle adversity. Are they going to crumble underneath that, or are they just going to be able to, rise to the top? And Willson, the way that he has responded by this as a, person, as a player, publicly, and then also at the plate, I think says a lot. And with Willson, too, it was just great to see 2 home runs from him last night. And bless you, CD. And to be able to, because we've been talking about with this offense, you need more from the veterans, right? Because of course the young guys are going to be young guys. It's going to take them a minute, but I think it's important for veterans like Willson Contreras to really set the tone offensively. It doesn't have to all be on them, but at least kind of open it up for the younger players to get a little bit more acclimated to the game, and they will follow suit. That's what I felt like you saw last night. And Willson happened to have his parents in the stands.
They're staying with me. I saw them before I came out here, and then I got their bless. That's the biggest thing that they can give to me. And like I said, I'm just proud of having mom and dad in town.
Pretty cool.
It is. That's such a sweet moment to be able to do that in front of his parents, and just that seeing him hype up the crowd, and the crowd just really embracing Willson that moment. I tweeted out last night, every time that Wilson's happy and does something like that, an angel gets its wings.
There you go.
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
And
good for him.
I feel bad for him because I'm with you, Brooke. I think that he's handled the situation in a pristine manner. He had that bad slump for a while. But in terms of the way he's handled things publicly, I don't think that he could have done it any better than he has. And I feel sorry for him because he didn't ask for this situation. He's been put into a tough situation, but I think he's handled the situation as well as somebody could handle it.
Yeah.
Don't feel too bad for him, Randy.
Well,
You're saying that paycheck helps?
The paycheck helps. But, you don't want to be the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaced the guy.
I agree with that.
And he's the expectation not only of us as fans, but the expectation of the organization was he was going to replace Yachty. And that's when everybody in a town expects you to replace and perform to the level of a legend. Pretty hard thing to do.
I think this is probably, he would, I don't know him well enough, but I think he would probably say this has been one of the most challenging years of his career. Mm-hmm. Just, as you said, replacing a legend, coming over to an organization where you were a rival for so many years, and knowing what you had to, what the expectations were for you. And I think he's faced every challenge with grace, with dignity, with honor. Yep. And even though his back has been up against the wall at times, he has come out fighting, come out swinging, and still here, still standing. That, to me, if you can't be proud of a player in this moment and what he's done, despite all of the critics, despite all of the conversation around his name, you will never be proud of what a guy can do.
He's a guy, I think we would all agree, he's the kind of guy that, as a fan, we should all root for.
Yes.
Because he's the essence of a fan favorite. The way he competes, the way he tries, the joy with which he plays, the way that he cares about the way the fans feel. He, to me, is like the essence of a fan favorite.
Yes,
I
agree.
And props to the fans, too, for really rallying around him, which I think that they have done this season. I don't know if the front office and the Cardinals were expecting that kind of backlash whenever they made all those decisions earlier this season, but the fans showed him why. Yeah. Best fans in baseball, because they all have really rallied around him and wanted his success.
Well, mine is, I don't know if it's a bird. It might be a drop, but it's he said no, but I get it. So
it's flying and dropping at the same time?
Yeah, it's flying over. We're going to talk about the starting pitching because we had Jesse Rogers on yesterday, and I asked him what was the issue. It's the starting pitcher. Thank you, Rocc. And so I looked at these numbers. The Cardinals, for their starting pitchers for this season, ERA, they are ranked 26. How many teams are there in the major leagues?
There are 30.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're bottom
5.
Yeah, that's not
30,
good.
29, 28, 27, 26. It'll be 5.
Cool. Oh, yeah, we math that.
Strikeouts, they are 26th.
That's bottom 5 again.
Yep. Yeah. So this is just our starting pitchers. It's just the starters. The number of strikeouts they have this season.
What would Gene Stallings say? Kind of scuffling.
in hits allowed.
No.
In hits
Don't do
allowed.
it.
Hold on.
No,
In hits allowed.
okay.
We're number one.
Yeah.
We're number one.
Yeah, but we're number one, Randy.
We're number one.
We're number one at something.
Hits allowed for our starting pitchers. We're number one.
That's like that's like being number one in murder rate.
Oh, no.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
But it's number
But
one.
if you ain't first, you're last.
Ain't first, you're last.
Okay, you guys are right about that.
But you're last in some of those other categories, but at least you're first in something, right?
Second place is 54 hits less. Has 54 hits less. They are giving up a lot of hits. They are
That's for sure.
not very good in earned run average, and strikeouts, they're not good either. And so the starting pitching for this season, going into next season, obviously is going to be the main focus. We'll figure out what they do in that role.
Go and get those three
Number
starting
one,
pitchers.
Randy. There you go.
Yeah. That's the motto. At least they're first in something in that category.
Just maybe. There's your mic drop or bird dropping. Oh, we need a fighter. Bird dropping / bird watch.
Yeah.
We're watching. We're watching these.
Yeah.
We're watching a lot
the
of
birds
hits.
poop. That's what we're doing.
If you would like to participate in the fight, all you need to do is text into the Air Comfort Service text line. And the Air Comfort Service text line number is 314-399-9646, 314-399. Yo-ho! Just text into that number with your name and the word fight, and you may fight me today here in the fight on the opening drive on 101 ESPN.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke here. This summer, I'm taking up a new hobby, one that I know will last a lifetime, and that is golfing. And I'm learning at the best spot in town. That is Family Golf and Learning Center. I've always wanted to learn how to golf, but was just really intimidated and didn't know where to start. But after my first couple of lessons with RJ, Melissa, and just the wonderful staff over at Family Golf and Learning Center, I was actually able to hit it straight and most importantly, just feel comfortable out there. That's what they do there at Family Golf and Learning Center. With several pros on staff, they have the ability ability to help anyone with their golf game. Like if you're just like me, starting out, or you want to improve your game. They provide a friendly and encouraging practice experience for the individual and for the family. All abilities and ages are welcome. Also, while you're out there, go check out their new Back Nine menu. When I went out there the other day to the driving range, I got their delicious buffalo chicken wrap with the corn fritters on the side and their adult Capri Sun. It was a perfect day. So for more information about Family Golf and Learning Center, go to familygolfonline.com. Learn, practice, play your best golf.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals yesterday with a walk-off win thanks to Tommy Edman as they top the San Diego Padres 6-5. They will go for a win in the series this afternoon at 1:15. First pitch, Miles Michaelis on the bump for the Cardinals. Coming up a little later on this show for the Cardinals, it is starting pitcher Adam Wainwright, who joins the show for his usual Wednesdays with Waino hit coming up at 9:30. Also later on tonight, it's the St. Louis CitySC facing off against Dallas FC. It's a 7:30 kickoff for that game. Just 4 home games left at City Park for City. That is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome to the fight. In the red corner, Average Joe Listener. And in the blue corner, the undisputed king of Morning Drive. Please welcome Randy Carricker.
Welcome back to the opening drive. I'm Terry Davis, joined by Brooke Grimsley, and it is time for the fight. And our fighter today is Ryan. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How's everybody else?
We're doing great. I love the energy. It sounds like you are ready to roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Last night, for just the third time ever in his entire career, Clayton Kershaw's curveball was taken deep by a lefty. Which Cardinals lefty famously took Kershaw deep on the same pitch in the playoffs? Is it Skip Schumacher, Matt Adams, or Matt Carpenter?
Let's go Matt Adams.
Happy birthday to Adam Wainwright. We know Waino as number 50, but which uniform did he wear for his 2 games in 05? Was it 90, 70, or 60?
That's a tough one. Let's go 60.
Keith Hernandez made his Major League Baseball debut on this day in 1974, starting at first base. Which Cardinal started the majority of games at first base that season? Is it Reggie Smith, Dick Allen, or Joe Torre?
Can you read the responses again?
Reggie Smith, Dick Allen, or Joe Torre?
Let's go Reggie Smith.
Despite holding many passing records, when he retired, Brett Favre threw touchdown passes to only one NFL Hall of Famer. Who was it? Randy Moss, Sterling Sharp, or Mark Clayton?
Let's say Sterling Sharp.
All right, we'll double check our scores, and then we will bring in Randy Carricker.
Ryan, how you feel?
Not super great, but
okay.
Had a couple of guesses in there.
Were you looking for one sport in particular that was there or not there?
Oh yeah, I'm a big hockey buff, so
we didn't have any.
Question would have been nice.
Good job, Rock.
No hockey questions.
It's all his fault.
Oh,
my bad.
We'll send you.
I didn't get any basketball in there either, so you know.
Yeah. Randy, say hello to Ryan.
Ryan, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Everything's great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. We do appreciate it.
Yes, of course.
All right, Randy, are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, last night, for just the third time ever in his entire career, Clayton Kershaw's curveball was taken deep by a lefty. Which Cardinals lefty famously took Kershaw deep on the same pitch in the playoffs?
Well, famously, if it's a left-handed hitter against Clayton Kershaw, and it's a member of the Cardinals, it would have been Matt Adams wearing number 53 in the playoffs. So, yes, I will go with Matt Adams hitting a home run against Kershaw and the curveball.
Final answer?
Well, if it happened famously, I'm going to go with Matt Adams, yeah.
You like that nickname? Jumbo Pepsi?
Jumbo Pepsi is good, yeah.
Okay.
Big City, too. I think Big City is one that he
didn't like the Jumbo Pepsi?
I think that it was the second one. I think Freeze gave him that one. I think I like Jumbo Pepsi better than Big City, but apparently because Big City was already there, they didn't give him a second one.
All right.
Happy birthday to Adam Wainwright. We know Waino as number 50, but which uniform number did he wear for his 2 games in 05?
Ooh, how different would it be if his Twitter handle was Uncle Charlie 60, which is what he did wear when he came up. 60, I believe. I'm going to go with that final answer.
All right. Keith Hernandez made his Major League Baseball debut on this day in 1974, starting at first base. Which Cardinal started the majority of games at first base that season?
1974. Wow, I thought Keith had made his debut earlier than that, but he was a good player. They sent him down a few times, too. I think by 74, Torrey had moved across the diamond. I'm going to go with Joe Torre as pretty sure that, because he won the MVP as a third baseman in 71. I think they traded him after 74. So I'll go with, I'm pretty sure it was 74. I'll go with Joe Torre.
All right. Despite holding many passing records when he retired, Brett Favre threw touchdown passes to only one NFL Hall of Famer. Who was it?
Good one. One Hall of Famer. I will do the lifeline, Brooke.
All right. Randy Moss, Sterling Sharp, or Mark Clayton?
Okay, well, Sterling Sharp isn't in the Hall of Fame, so that's not a Hall of Famer. I don't think Mark Clayton's in the Hall of Fame. Pretty sure he's not. I don't know when Favre would have thrown touchdown passes to Randy Moss. But he's in the Hall of Fame. Clayton and Duper, I don't think are in the Hall of Fame. So I will... 09? Moss didn't come back there in 09, did he? To Minnesota? Was that the year? I guess because I believe Randy Moss is the only one of those 3 that's in the Hall of Fame. Sterling Sharp, we said, right?
Yep.
Mark Clayton or Randy Moss. I got to go with Randy Moss because I don't think the other 2 are in the Hall of Fame. I know Sterling Sharp isn't. Because remember, Shannon Sharp had famously in his speech said, Sterling should be in the Hall of Fame. Yep. So he's not in the Hall of Fame. I know that. He got hurt. And I'm pretty sure Mark Clayton isn't. So I'll go Randy Moss, final answer.
All right.
Sorry, Brooke saying all right like that made me laugh.
All right.
How
about that?
How about that?
How about that? Was Ryan able to come in here and take down Megamind on a hump day, which during the fight usually comes bump day because usually we have something go wrong on a Wednesday? Did anything go wrong in this fight? We'll find out here soon. Did Randy Carragher take down another fighter? Ring that bell.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
The winner and still champion of the fight, Randy Carragher.
The fight is presented by Golf Discount of St. Louis. With the most experienced club fitters in town. Why shop anywhere else?
Mr. Buck, you heard him there, and that means somebody got all 4 right. Randy Carragher wins this fight 4-2. I'm sorry about that one, Ryan.
Oh, it's all good. I'm just glad I could participate.
Good job, Ryan.
Thank you so much for joining the
Great
fight.
to have you with us.
And let's go through those answers. Last night, for just the third time ever in his entire career, Clayton Kershaw's curveball was taken deep by a lefty. Which Cardinals lefty famously took Kershaw deep in the same pitch in the playoffs? Well, let's just...
So, do you guys love the meme of the Clayton Kershaw figurine, and then on the lower right it's circled where it says choking hazard?
Oh, no.
That's rough.
That's painful.
It is.
Big City Matt Adams in Busch Stadium, Game 4 against the Dodgers, goes yard again. And then last night was just the third time ever
Amazing.
Against a lefty. Happy birthday to Adam Wainwright. We know him as number 50, but he did in fact wear number 60 for his 2 games in 2005. Keith Hernandez made his MLB debut on this day in 1974, starting at first base. He went 2 for 2 and pulled 2 walks as well. Not a bad debut for a good hitter. Which Cardinal started the majority of games at first base that season? It was, in fact, Joe Torre. He would switch over the next season, and Reggie Smith and Keith Hernandez would split the overwhelming majority of first base starts in 75. And despite holding many passing records, Brett Favre threw 2 touchdown passes to 1 Hall of Famer, and that was, in fact, Randy Moss's return to the Minnesota Vikings in week 5 and week 7 of the 2010 season.
Wow. 10, okay.
Against the New York Jets and against the Green Bay Packers, ironically enough. Those are the 2 games where he threw Randy Moss a touchdown pass. So Randy Moss and Brett Favre hooking up for 2 there. So a 4-2 win for Randy Carricker again today on The Fight. Ryan, thank you so much again for joining the show and joining The Fight today.
Thanks, everyone.
That's Ryan on 101 ESPN. Coming up, Mizzou opens their season tomorrow night at Columbia at the Zoo, and we're going to talk to Mizzou radio analyst Howard Richards about the Tigers of 2023. Next on 101 ESPN.
Feed the Tigers on the opening drive. This is the Morning Zoo on 101 ESPN.
Brought to you by James Carlton of State Farm. Mention Mizzou to James when you request a quote, and he will donate $20 to Mizzou's preferred NIL on your behalf. CarltonInsurance.net.
Tomorrow night at the Zoo in Columbia, Mizzou opens up their 2023 season by taking on South Dakota, and you'll be able to hear the game on the Tiger Network. That's here on the Big 550 here in St. Louis. And Howard Richards will be on the call with Mike Kelly, and the former Mizzou star and great friend on the air and in life joins us now. Howard, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How is CD and how's Cup doing this morning?
We're doing great.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Howard. We're doing great. Thanks for asking.
No
and
problems.
we're excited because Mizzou football coming up.
It's time. It has been a long off season.
Yep.
And this time of year, I think so many people get excited. Hopefully, by the end of November, we'll all be smiling a little bit more brightly than we have in past seasons.
All right, Howard, let's get right into it. How are they going to replace the production of Dominic Lovett?
Well, Terry, I think with the experience that they've added at receiver, outside receiver with Theo Weiss and moving Luther Burden into the slot, plus the depth that they have returning, I don't know that you necessarily are trying to replace that production, but they feel that they have a group of receivers that can step in and all play at a reasonably high level. Of course, Dominic Lovett had a fantastic season last year. But with the guys that are on the roster now, they feel that they won't necessarily miss his production, the contributions that they all expect the receivers in that room to contribute.
Also, another big thing to watch for is, of course, the quarterback battle. Going into that game tomorrow, I know Eli Drinkwitz mentioned that we'll see both Brady Cook and Sam Horn. What should we be able to expect from this competition, and how do you think that Drinkwitz and Kirby Moore will handle that?
Well, it hasn't been defined yet if these guys will alternate quarters or play a half. I expect that if I were doing it, I think I'd give each one a half. But we'll have to see how they do it. I think what I'm looking for, and probably the same with the coaching staff, is for whoever starts the game or whoever finishes it, someone has to have command of the offense. They've got to have command of the huddle and be confident. If you've got throws, the ball's got to come out quickly. Certainly, he wants to see much better accuracy than what Brady Cook exhibited last year, at least overall. I mean, that's been a point of contention for the quarterback position. I don't know how much we'll see the deep ball on Thursday, but I expect at some point that they will take some shots downfield. And I think that's ultimately why you bring in, one of the reasons you bring in a guy like Kirby Moore, to develop more consistency, develop your quarterback, but also up the production level from your offense. So, it's something that they've obviously worked on. But I don't know that you'll see a whole lot really, really early, especially in this FCS.
Howard Richards, Mizzou analyst, joining us here on 101 ESPN. And the Tigers have the second most experience returning in all of FBS football. How important is that?
Well, certainly as you approach the SEC schedule, I think it's vastly important. You want these guys to feel confident, that they can compete with whoever lines up against them. Wasn't necessarily the case last year, although, they lost 4 games by a total of 18 points, 4 critical games. And I think some of it had to do with a lack of experience, in key areas. The offensive line certainly was an area that had some newcomers along that offensive line. But I expect this year with the change at the offensive line coach, bringing in Brandon Jones from the University of Houston, I think they'll be coached better. I think the players that will be on the field lining up week in and week out will play with a lot more confidence and a lot more direction. So, having that depth at multiple positions, to me, it's a luxury that Missouri hasn't necessarily had over the last couple of years.
Howard, I couldn't help but notice when we returned and brought you in, there was an ad for NIL and the Mizzou Collective and the fund. So explain to me and us how this Mizzou Collective, how this NIL can help Mizzou going forward with players being able to get paid as soon as they decide to commit to Missouri, as opposed to some other states that aren't allowing that.
Well, I think what it allowed the university to do is make the whole NIL, name, image, and likeness package more attractive. It gives you, I think, a slight advantage over some of the blue blood programs that are also recruiting in the St. Louis area, whether it be Bama, whether it be Georgia, whether it be Michigan, whomever it is. Now you have something that says, I'm a kid, I have this ability, and I have the ability to go in and make money. Now I can do it sooner, depending on when you commit. You can do it a lot sooner than your signing date. And for a lot of these young men and young women, depending on the sport they play, that can be very important depending on their particular financial situations. We're not always talking about, thousands of dollars. It could be hundreds of dollars, but something that's important, to that particular young man or young woman. I think that's the edge that, the new bill that passed and went into effect, I believe, on Monday. I think that's the advantage that it gives Missouri.
Is there any fear or anything that stops that player from not committing to the University of Missouri after not signing the deal after they've committed? They can get paid once they commit, but is there any fear that maybe some of those kids don't actually sign their letter of intent?
Well, I'm not that in tune. I haven't read the bill yet. But ultimately, I believe that, there would be some sort of contractual obligation for whoever signs this deal. And if someone's bold enough to sign an NIL deal and then flip and go to another school, I would imagine that money or whatever compensation that they receive would have to be given back.
H, this will be a big year for Eli Drinkwitz. I throw out the COVID year, his first year, but then 21 and 22, heading into 23. This seems to be a schedule and a team that sets up for Eli to have the most success that he's had. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, Randy. Just looking at, I think the improvement that they've made in certain areas. Again, I mentioned the offensive line earlier. But look at the secondary. Look at the linebackers. Look at the corners. That production is, in a lot of places, it's unmatched because you have that depth coming back. But I think it sets up and it speaks volumes about the number of guys, especially starters, that did not decide to transfer, those that were eligible that did not enter the draft and decided to return. I think this core group of players felt that they had something to prove. Of course, that's the hashtag that they're using this year, STP. They felt that they had to, there's more in the tank, and that they felt that in some ways that they were cheated themselves and wanted to return and wanted to be able to say, we've got the talent on this roster to be able to compete week in and week out with our opponents. And we deserve probably some sort of national recognition. Now, of course, it's all hyperbole until you can go out and produce on the field. But I think this group of guys, to a man that will be lining up as starters on this roster have that ability. Again, it comes down to them producing on the field.
And by the way, the law in Missouri does allow athletes to begin profiting from endorsement deals while still in high school, as long as they sign a letter of intent to attend a public university in Missouri. So they need to sign the letter of intent with Mizzou or Missouri State or whatever the school is if they're going to get that NIL money. So now we know.
There you go. You've stated it about as clearly as anyone else can, Randy.
H, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it. We'll be talking to you as the season goes along. Have fun tomorrow night.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you. That's Howard Richards. He is the analyst for Mizzou games on the Tiger Network with Mike Kelly. And, of course, they get the season started tomorrow night as the Tigers will take on South Dakota in a 7 o'clock game at Faurot Field.
South Dakota. Watch out for them. What is their mascot?
Something with a paw.
I think they're like the Cougars or the Panthers. One of the two,
If you don't know, they shouldn't lose. How about that?
That's a good point.
If you don't know the mascot, you shouldn't lose.
Coyotes. They're
Coyotes.
the Coyotes.
Okay.
There you go. Watch out for those Coyotes.
Pack of coyotes. Coyotes have paws?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Are you saying that as a question?
I knew,
or
it
as
wasn't, I knew it wasn't the Trojans.
It wasn't an eagle or a
right.
Spartan or
it's not like
Wolverine.
Mizzou would ever start their season losing to a team with Dakota in the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does Wolverine have
What's
paws?
their colors?
Doesn't Wolverine
They're
have paws?
red and white.
Red and white.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they
With
were
a
green.
paw.
Yeah,
See?
no, I know. Ever since
South Dakota. Yeah, Coyotes.
ever since Nebraska started sucking, we do pretty well against red and white teams.
I was thinking green. Like Norfolk.
No, I'm good.
In Norfolk
I'm good.
State,
No,
green.
I'm good.
Yeah, green.
That's a different sport, though.
Coming up next, we've got the Rush Hour Reset on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Kerry for Window Nation. Feeling the heat? High temps aren't the only thing getting you hot under the collar. Well, wait until you see your high energy bills. The solution? I recommend my friends at Window Nation for new energy efficient windows. Your home stays cool and comfortable, and your AC will avoid any premature breakdown. You will save thousands on those high energy bills, not to mention the incredible savings Window Nation is offering right now. You can get 50% off of any style window, bows, bays, double hung, sliders, 50% off. Plus, put zero down, make zero payments with 0% interest for 24 months. So maintain your chill, lower your bill, and fill your home with new windows from Window Nation. You can get 50% off of any style window and no money down. Make no payments, pay no interest for 2 full years. Call 866-90-NATION. Window Nation will give you a pair of Cardinals tickets with a purchase of a house of windows. New windows can save you up to 30% on your energy bills. You need to get them today. Call 866-90-NATION or go online at windownation.com and tell them Kerry sent you.
Hey, guys, fatigue and lack of energy is definitely a sign of low testosterone, and you should get it checked. It's fast and easy, and you might have something else going on. Well, at Mentality, their physicians are going to do a complete panel of your blood work to find out where your testosterone level is, and their physician have actually saved guys' lives who weren't aware of another potentially dangerous condition. They'll do your blood work, and they found early-stage prostate cancer at Mentality. But their big thing is to make sure that you have the energy that you had when you were younger, when you were in your 20s and your testosterone level was at its highest. But as you go through life, your testosterone level decreases. That's where Mentality comes in. Mentality is in Chesterfield and South County. Find them on the web at lowtusa.com. What they're going to do is find out where your testosterone level is and get it back to a normal level from when you were in your 20s. Now, that level has a wide range. They're going to get it to the upper end of the normal level for testosterone when you were younger, and that will restore the energy that you had, and it'll restore the great feeling that you had. All you need to do is go to lowtusa.com. They'll work with your insurance company, and you can be the guy that you want to be, that you used to be, by going to Mentality.
Fresh perspective on the day's top stories. It's the Opening Drive's Fresh Take.
Brought to you by Schnucks Rewards. Reward yourself. Earn 2% back on every purchase with the Schnucks Rewards app.
Swing, drive down the left field line. Let's go home. Cardinals win it.
Oh, that's the way it happened last night at the ballpark. Chip Carey the call on Bally Sports. Cardinals do win it 6-5 over the San Diego Padres. Same two teams today at the ballpark. 115 Miles Michaelis on the mound. He'll be opposed by Rich Hill. But the reason that Tommy Edman was able to get to the plate is what made last night. Wilson Contreras had hit a couple of home runs, a solo shot and a two-run shot to bring the Cardinals back from a deficit to a 5-5 tie, and the game went to extra innings. Richie Palacios stepped in against Josh Hader. Richie Palacios against Josh Hader. Fouls off the first one with a bunt attempt. Second one, swings at strike two. Did not look great. Third, fouls it off. And then an 0-2 Josh Hader slider, and the amazing Richie Palacios keeps it going.
0-2. He lays it down with 2 strikes. How about that? A 2-strike sacrifice by Palacios, and look at the Cardinal bench.
How about that? Did not see that one coming. Neither did the Padre or Hader.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
We did not see that coming.
No.
So then Hader, and well, he didn't really walk Paul Goldschmidt. The Padres walked Paul Goldschmidt because they didn't have to throw a pitch, and that brought Edman to the plate, and he was able to win it with that fly ball in down the line and left, and the Cardinals win it by a score of 6-5 in 10. But the story of the night is the Cardinals utilizing the sacrifice, especially with 0-2. That was something that Don Zimmer would have done when he was the manager of the Cubs back in the day. You don't see the 0-2 sacrifice, especially against a pitcher like Hader. That takes some guts.
That did, and we didn't mention Jordan Walker's sacrifice fly to get a run across. Those are the things that I think this team has been lacking all season. Just the small, detailed, fundamental things. It's not always about hitting the ball out of the ballpark. It's not about launch angles. It's about scoring runs. At the end of the day, the team that scores more runs and the team that prevents the team from scoring enough runs usually wins.
I think that might be
the
winning formula right
there.
now.
I just did it. Proud of me.
Yep.
Proud of me, too. I just figured this out all by myself.
And you got the how about that chorus. I didn't notice any change in like tone either between any of those three. It was all the same.
Well, one was a sacrifice and one was a guy hitting for the cycle.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
I love hearing all of those. That's so good.
So 3 teams are tied for the lowest number of sacrifice flies in baseball this year. The White Sox, Twins, and Blue Jays all have 25. The Tigers and Reds have 26, and then the Cardinals have 27. So they are 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25th in sac flies. The team with the most sacrifice flies, well, the Cardinals have 27. The Dodgers have 55.
The Doyers?
Doyers have 55. And just for...
How are they playing?
They're all right. Okay. They're going to win their division. I think they've got a 100% chance to win their division. And the Jonkies, just because we mentioned the Doyers, we can't mention the Doyers and not the Jonkies. Jonkies don't have a lot of sacrifice flies either. So sacrifice flies are a good thing. Getting a run home is a good thing.
I think it works.
It does.
Scoring helps you win games.
Mm-hmm.
Being aggressive, that's just what I wanted to see. We
aggressive.
talked
Be aggressive. AGGRESS.
Oh, no.
aggressive.
None of us were really good cheerleaders. Okay, I'm off beat as well.
AGGRESSIVE.
There you go.
Yep.
CD's got it down. CD's got it down.
There you go.
We just need to be on the sidelines doing that because that's what you've wanted to see.
Do your
that
job.
game last night.
Just do your job.
Just do it. You know, it's just be a little bit more aggressive at times. We mentioned, wish I would have seen it maybe a little bit earlier this season at more times. Just not so heavily reliant on the long ball. We talked about it so much, just how much it feels like that they have been reliant on the home run this season. And, you know, if you look at the Braves, we discussed this yesterday, they also are reliant on it too, but they're able to use more tools in their toolbox and utilize it in many different ways. The Cardinals I know it's one game, and I'm not trying to get too excited. I think we all know what is not at stake here for the Cardinals this season, but I think it just was important to see that they do have the capability of doing that because this is that game last night is more what I expected to see from this group this season at times.
And if you are going to go into next year with Lars Nootbaar in left and Tommy Edman in center, and Jordan Walker in right, Arenado and Goldschmidt are what they are. But if you're going to have Mason Wynn at shortstop, if you're going to have Brendan Donovan playing second, you need to teach those guys how to bunt. You need to find ways, and you have to rebuild your bullpen. The way that you win one-run games is to have a great bullpen and to be able to manufacture runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And the Cardinals and Ollie and the coaching staff and the front office, first of all, the front office butt out on the sacrifice thing and let us just play winning baseball here, please. Sorry about that.
You think there was an analytics guy pulling his hair out when Richie Palacio decided to
I don't think there's any
on an 0-2 count.
What is this?
What are you doing? Even though it worked.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not baseball.
No, that's not our baseball. Okay. Well, you won the game, right?
It's winning baseball.
Yeah, and that's the key. I think the Cardinals need to, especially with that group, because I don't think Mason Wynn's going to hit a ton of home runs. I don't think Tommy Edman's going to hit a ton of home runs. Nootbaar's not going to hit 40. I don't know what Brendan Donovan's going to do, but I don't think he's going to hit 40. So you might as well utilize those players' athleticism by having them be able to do the little things necessary to win close games.
You know what else was nice? We talked about the Mason Wynn play, saving a run. Jordan Walker made a great throw to third a couple of nights ago, which eventually saved a run. Those are winning plays as well.
Yep.
Allow guys to do their job, put the people in the right position, let them grow in that position.
Yes.
It would be outstanding if you had an infield that had Nolan Arenado, Mason Wynn, Tommy Edman, and Paul Goldschmidt.
I would love that.
I would highly doubt many balls find their way through. Many balls sneak through. You're going to have a lot of double plays turned. You're going to have a lot of plays being made. Mason Wynn has an incredible arm. The play that Nolan Arenado made that he didn't get the runner out on, where he caught that ball on a bounce and he is spectacular.
Yeah.
So you want those guys on that side of the infield. Nothing goes through.
Right. And let me give you just a quick primer here, because we're talking about sacrifices. This is kind of the essence of what we're talking about here. One-run games after last night, the Cardinals are 11-23 this year. A lot of that in the bullpen, a lot of that not being able to manufacture runs. Here's the other one. I was talking about the old school Pirates, old-timey, back in my day, in 1990. when the Pirates would score first pretty much every game, and they wound up winning 95 games. The Cardinals are 42-24 now, 42-24 when they score first. When the opponent scores first, the Cardinals are 14-52. 14-52 when the opponent scores first. 42-24 when they score first. So maybe, just maybe, when you do score first in the first inning with the benefit of a sacrifice, you get that advantage that spurs you to victory.
I think it helps out a lot. And starting pitching, I think, does a lot, too, with setting the tone. I know that we discussed that so much this season. And just to touch on Zach Thompson and his outing last night, obviously wasn't as efficient as you would like to see. But I think with Zach, the more that he has a more defined and consistent role, think about all the different things that he went through this season. But to be able to get him to build up some of that consistency, I think that he will only continue to get better, or as we like to say yesterday, gooder. He's only get gooder.
Keep getting gooder.
This is valuable for him.
This is.
Even though he only threw 4 innings, this is valuable experience for him, and he'll begin to understand. I'm sure he went home and he watched Clayton Kershaw pitch too, that he needs to be more efficient. You can't throw 91 pitches in 4 innings and expect to throw a complete game.
No.
So off season, we go get Dylan Cease via trade.
Yep.
And we
hate
try
making the trade, but we're going to.
You said what now?
We hate making this trade, but we're going to.
Yeah, you're not gonna like that.
It's gonna hurt.
I don't know that we get Aaron Nola or Blake Snell. I just don't see that. So you're gonna have to go get another guy. I don't know who that is. I don't know. We talked about Urias probably staying with the Dodgers.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe it's like a Luis Severino. I don't know how you feel about that as a number 2/3 guy.
I'm not really confident in the Cardinals fixing broken pitchers anymore.
Well, you gotta you get you a couple of them. Dylan Cease should be one.
Yeah.
Put him on the top of the
100%
list. Again, you're gonna have to lose something to get that.
And this is not an affront to Dusty Blake, best number 90 in Cardinal history. But if I would just feel better if I was trying to resurrect a Severino, if I had a Maddox or a Duncan who had done that before and resurrected guys. And I just don't know about Dusty Blake.
We have to give him some credit because Adam Wainwright has pitched well his last. You have to give some type of credit. Maybe there is a, maybe he does have a little bit of fixer in him.
Yeah.
Randy's sure.
Yeah. You think it's all Adam? You don't think Dusty has any correlation to what's going on in the last couple of starts?
I'm sure he shows him some numbers about it.
Yeah, but no, Adam said he's not a total analytics guy. Like, he thought. Remember, he said that he thought he was,
a stats
but he's not. He actually is he's a guy, one of their guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Randy, come on.
Yeah, you never know.
Come on.
I live in the show me state.
We are here as well.
Yeah. So just show me.
Yeah.
That's all. Hey, I've seen too many Ken Bottenfields and Joel Pineros and Todd Wellemeyers and Jeff Weavers. I've just seen too many of those guys. And then I've seen this year. So I want the guy to be great. I do, but I just haven't seen it from him yet. And once I do, then maybe I'll have a little bit more confidence.
Okay.
But would I go out and and I've always liked Severino, but he's had a horrible year for the Yankees, and he's going to be a free agent. I just don't
have to pay him a lot.
But that gives you more of what you've had this year, though. That's what you want, a guy that is good, not a guy that, okay, if we fix him, he can be good. I want a guy that's good.
Does he have an injury history?
He got really bad history the last few years. Yeah. All right. We've got Rock and Roll coming up. Rock, you got some good roll for it. Oh, he's writing stuff? Bulletin's apparently official.
It's going.
Yeah, The Flash from Dallas. No.
What the
hell
did that say?
What is that?
It's really not that hard.
No looking glass.
No looking at... The Cardinals lineup is out.
The Cards lineup.
We're looking at the Cards lineup.
I'm sorry, but that did not look like looking the first time.
No, I thought he said Lowry.
People do this
Did it not look like Lowry?
I'm trying to write fast. Figure it out.
Did you see how quickly he erased
Build the
it?
words.
L-O-U-G-H.
Don't shoot shame on us.
L-O-U-G-H-Y.
Anyway,
play on the fly a little bit. People, come on.
Also, you are a victim blamer. You really blamed us for your poor writing skills?
Coming up on 101 ESPN. Coming up on 101 ESPN. No. Hey, I want you to know about Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They've been in business here in St. Louis for 55 years, and they do magnificent work on outdoor projects. And as a matter of fact, if you, by the end of business tomorrow, mention this show to Chesterfield Fence and Deck, they're going to give you 20% off your next installed outdoor project at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. You can find them on the web and see what they do at chesterfieldfence.com. Or you can give them a call at 800-300-4054. They're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. Everything has at least a 5-year labor warranty and a comprehensive material warranties. And everything includes amazing work on either vinyl or cedar fences, vinyl or cedar decks, plus custom sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas. They do patios. They do retaining walls and windows, too. And the work they do is absolutely sensational. You'll love working with the people at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They want to make you happy, and you'll love the products that they deliver. So go to chesterfieldfence.com or just give them a call and set up an appointment today. 800-300-4054. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
And roll.
Let's rock. Let's rock today.
All right, it's time for Rock and Roll here on 101 ESPN.
And
what do you got?
Well, Randy, if you could tell from my incredible handwriting, I didn't want you guys to look at the lineup because we don't get to do this very often, but a 1:15 first pitch means that the Cardinals lineup out a little bit earlier. We get it before Wednesdays with Waino, so we know who the pitcher spot could be with Miles Michaelis today, but the rest of the lineup, big old question mark, and I'm going to need you guys to figure this one out for the St. Louis fans. So, right off the bat, leading off for the St. Louis Cardinals, who is it?
Tommy
It's going to be Edman, right? Because Lars hasn't started a rehab assignment.
Right off the bat, Tommy Edman is leading off, playing center field. Keep on rolling.
Goldie. Goldschmidt.
Brooke, you have any problems with that?
No, I don't.
Goldie at first base?
Goldie at first base. Go to number 3.
Ooh. Is it going to be
Richard's
Gorman?
on the mound. It won't be Gorman.
Oh.
Lefty on the mound. Good job, Randy.
I am going to say that they moved Wilson Contreras up to the 3-hole.
Oh, after his 2-home run night last night?
I don't know
It's
about
either
that.
going to be Contreras or Arenado.
I was going to say I'm going to go with Arenado.
Let's go Arenado. Okay, fine.
Oh.
Wilson.
Wilson Contreras at the DH spot is batting third for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Arenado?
Well, then this is Arenado. Yes.
Easy one there. Nolan Arenado at third base, batting fourth.
Bro Neal fifth.
Is he? Yeah. Let's go, Tyler O'Neill.
Kind of scuffling.
Yeah.
Left field.
Okay. It's not.
Gosh darn it.
Okay. Hold on then. Let's just think
Left
about
field.
this. It's not,
Is it going to be? It's not Burley.
Burleson, no. It's a lefty.
No, not against the lefty. Well, maybe J-Dub. Do you put J-Dub in?
Oh,
Move him
maybe.
up that high?
I think
wouldn't.
Walker, maybe.
It's not going to be Kisner.
No.
That high.
Who is fifth?
Batting fifth for your St. Louis Cardinals.
So you got a right fielder, you
J-Dub.
need a left fielder. Okay,
We're going to go with Walker.
Go J-Dub.
In right field, Jordan Walker for your St. Louis Cardinals.
There you go.
So who's playing left
Okay.
field?
Who's batting sixth is the big question.
Well, he's also
I'm
playing
Then it's
left.
going to
I'll go
go
with O'Neal
O'Neal.
there.
Yeah, that's O'Neal.
Maybe the knee's hurting.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Well,
you
then,
still need a left fielder. What, no, not Palacios. All right.
Oh, yeah. Let's
No, it would be Palacios, right?
yeah, Richie. Oh, no. Okay, let's...
I mean,
the only other thing it could be is...
Is it Kisner?
Burleson is not
Well,
going to be.
Yeah, we'll put Kisner
You're
at
going to have a
six.
second baseman, too.
Oh,
Who's playing second base?
Gorman?
No. Your guy, Brooke.
Taylor?
No, Taylor Motter, you're right.
Batting sixth for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, no.
Whoa, this
There's
is
no Taylor Motter?
So Burley.
It's Burleson, right?
Who the heck is left?
Kisner.
Batting sixth and behind the plate for the Cardinals, Andrew Kisner.
Okay.
So you need a shortstop. Mason's going to be batting ninth.
Yeah.
So we're at 7, 8. Still
Yeah.
need a left fielder.
O'Neal. Oh, bad knee today, right? You said bad knee.
Oh,
Left
you did
fielder.
say bad knee
I did.
today.
I did.
Okay, so then that's Palacios.
Palacios.
That's Palacios. No? Wait, what? You are getting so much
He's
joy.
getting joy out of
What?
this. He enjoys hitting
Okay,
that
Burley
button.
here.
Then it's Burleson.
What the heck is going on
Did
here?
they call someone up that we didn't know?
Is Motter in the left field? No, I'm kidding.
Left field. Brendan
We
Donovan
already-
is hurt. Newbar is not back.
We're at 7. You got 8 and 9 still to play with.
Yeah, but
9
Well,
is going to
9
be
is
win.
Mason Wynn at shortstop. So
Well,
you need a
yes,
second
and then-
baseman and a shortstop and a left fielder.
Yes.
Taylor Motter.
did we say Taylor Motter?
Hey!
There
Batting
you
seventh
go.
for the Cardinals and playing second base.
All right, so now you need a left fielder.
Okay, Motter.
Richie.
And then
Richie
this is
Palacios.
Palacios here.
Okay,
and
Richie
then-
Palacios
And then
at-
Mason Wynn.
And then Mason Wynn. You guys
There
already
we
got that
go.
one. We'll give you another
There
ding
you go.
for Palacios at left field. And so we'll run it down for the full Cardinals. Tommy Edman leading off, playing center field. Paul Goldschmidt batting second at first base. Your DH Wilson Contreras batting third. Nolan Arenado at third, batting cleanup. Jordan Walker up at the 5 spot, playing in right field. Your catcher, Andrew Kisner, batting sixth. Taylor Motter at second base, batting seventh. Richie Palacios in left field, batting eighth. And Mason Wynn, of course, in the 9th hole in his shortstop spot. There is your Cardinals lineup for a 1:15 matchup against San Diego Padres.
Nice.
I like it a lot.
Good. You never know what to expect with these lineups.
One other short thing. I hate myself for doing this, but I cannot stop watching the new Skip Bayless show, where he doesn't talk very much. And I only wanted to bring up a little moment here. It has nothing to do with them talking over each other. It's just that yesterday, Richard Sherman said in front of Keyshawn and Michael Irvin that cornerback was a harder position to play than wide receiver. Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson weirdly got angry at that comment, and this is how Keyshawn Johnson came at Richard Sherman.
You said it's a harder position. Harder position. What did you start off at? Receiver. Okay. What does that say? You play receiver. You couldn't play it at the level that got you to where you are. So you went to corner because it was much easier to do.
That is a wild argument from Keyshawn Johnson to say in Richard Sherman's face. Wild argument.
I love it. I don't think so.
Wide receivers are the craziest people on the planet.
I told you,
Insane.
They have blinders on. They see nothing but what is in front of them. They don't see anything to either side. Nothing else matters to them. It's a beautiful thing to a degree. I wish I had that much confidence that I didn't care about anything outside of my viewpoint right in front of me. I wish I did.
And
but that's who they are.
The other thing is, in this game, cornerback is harder than receiver. 20 years ago, receiver might have been hard. Well, probably not. But there's no doubt that in today's game, because of the rules, playing cornerback is more difficult than playing wide receiver. All the rules favor the wide receivers.
Indeed, it favors offense. I definitely think that it is harder playing cornerback. I think that's one of the hardest positions, in football and maybe in sports. You have to be an elite person that can run backwards, can run fast, can turn, have good hips, be able to, transition forward and do all of those things, have great anticipation. It is a tough position. As a receiver, you know exactly where you're going. You know exactly how many steps you need to take, what angle you need to go. As a DB, you're reacting to everything that is going on in front of you. You have to be a much better athlete, in my opinion, than a receiver.
Coming up, the birthday boy, Adam Wainwright, Wednesdays with Waino on 101 ESPN. Hey, are you a member of the Hoffman Brothers Home Protection Plan? If not, what are you waiting for? For as little as $34 a month, you can join the club, and as part of their home protection plan, you not only get 2 semi-annual visits to your heating and cooling system, but free filters shipped to your home. You also get discounts across all their service lines: heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, sewers, drains, and appliances. The best part is you can schedule your service online 24/7 at hoffmanbros.com. Call to join the Hoffman Brothers Club today. You can find them on the web, as we mentioned, at hoffmanbros.com, or call 314-664-3011. Hoffman Brothers is an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Now, some memberships are more based on how many systems are in the home, so not everyone is $34 a month based on home size. And while you're at it, being a home protection plan member helps you out with appliance repair, too. They're going to come out to your house. They'll do great work on your appliances, and if your appliance is dead, they will have appliances that you can purchase and get installed by Hoffman Brothers. Learn more at hoffmanbros.com.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals last night with a walk-off win over the San Diego Padres in the 10th inning. They will try to take a series win over the Padres today with a 1:15 first pitch. Also coming up later on tonight, it is St. Louis City SC back at home in City Park facing off against Dallas. This is just their first of their last 4 home games at City Park this season. That is your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff. Find your roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Today is Adam Wainwright's birthday, so he's going to join us in just a few minutes and celebrate number 42. Number 42.
Wow.
It's a pretty good year for him.
Yes.
So at least in terms of the, you know what we're saying.
You know what we're saying. You know what we mean.
42 years old, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but he's pitched well his last 2 times out. Looking forward to him getting back on the mound and hopefully getting to 200 victories, which would be a great milestone for him.
Yes, indeed. Exactly. CD, there's something going on over here with the hats. We were discussing, we just played the lineup game a little bit earlier, and we said it felt like spring training because you don't know who's going to be in the lineup sometimes,
you have no clue.
where in the lineup. And so what's going on with the hats over here?
Putting on my GM hat.
Okay. Now, Billy Martin, former Yankees manager, once did this. I think it was 1975.
Not going to hold on. Let me see if I can put it on.
There you go.
There we go. Oh, no.
Now you're a real
can't
cowboy.
hear you, but okay. We're going to make it work somehow or another. All right.
Okay, this is good.
I got my GM hat on. Oh, we can't put it on. All right. Got to take my GM hat off.
Oh, we got to do this later then.
Yep, we do.
This is a very important segment, though. Because it's interesting, because the lineup game, it was challenging for us.
It was.
For various reasons.
Had my GM hat on. I was ready.
Fired up, ready to go. At least we got to see you in a cowboy hat for a second. That's the highlight,
That's
for
important.
sure.
That is Brooke Grimsley. Super Bowl champ Kerry Davis is here, and we welcome to the Celebrity Line another world champion, 2-time World Series champ, Adam Wainwright. Happy birthday to you, sir. Good morning. How you doing?
Morning. Thank you, Randy. Doing great. Just dropped my little man off at school, and I was going to call you before that, but felt like the added entertainment was going to be more of a distraction than it was anything else.
Okay. He's beautiful. By the way, we'll get started with this. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adam. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
And many more. Oh, did we have good singing voices?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Brooke for keeping that together right there.
I wasn't actually bringing the Adam Wainwright national anthem vibe to the song there, but I tried my best. I tried hard.
You did great. You did great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Do you have, and obviously you have spent most of your life's birthdays now playing baseball, right? Do you have a birthday that is just kind of set apart, that is in your mind's eye as either your favorite or most memorable?
42 for sure.
Good. This will be the best one.
I think, I've had a couple opportunities I think I've thrown a couple complete games on birthdays through the big leagues, maybe for 40 and 39 both. I think I did it. Those are pretty memorable, and I like pitching on, big days like that. My wife's birthday, my mom's birthday, my brother's birthday, those kinds of things. I feel like I always get up a little bit more for those games. So maybe I just need to act like every day is Randy Carricker's birthday,
Oh, there you go.
That's a whole week thing that we had here. Yeah, we had a whole week worth of that.
It was
Randy Week?
Randy Adam, listen,
Palooza.
we had so much food brought in here every single day. It was all types of treats, cheesecakes. It was gooey butter cake. It was so many different things that we are not supposed to eat on a regular basis. It was brought in every single day. Yeah, it was rough.
I thought I noticed the difference, Randy. I just didn't want to say anything.
Believe me.
Wow.
I know.
There you go. That was a good one, Adam. Well, Adam, I wanted to ask you you talked about the other day about digging back into 2014 video of yourself for some recent inspiration. Why specifically that year? And I think that we probably know why, but why that year? And what were you able to implement from reviewing that film of yourself from 2014 into your recent outings?
Well, so that year, mentally, I was just ahead of the pack. I just was ahead of the hitter. I knew what he was thinking. I knew what he was going to do before he knew what he was going to do. I knew what the hitter's reaction to each pitch I threw was going to be. It was really cool. It was a really cool time for me. I'm probably going to win that Cy Young if I don't have kind of a little elbow tweak about 3/4 through the year. But still pitched great. I still had a great year. But it was so fun to go. How I felt like? I felt like an elite quarterback. When you see Brady or Mahomes walk up to the line and they look out at the defense and they go, "That's what you're thinking? Are you kidding me?" That's kind of what I felt like. And so, my body's been dealing with a litany of things this year, and so stuff's down a little bit. But I felt like, mentally, if I'm in the right space and I'm still thinking like a pitcher and still out there competing my tail off, there's a lot of things I can still do pretty good at this level. And so I went back to 14 to just kind of get some of those anecdotes, what was I thinking on that pitch and why was I thinking it, and walking through at bats and games. And sometimes it's good to look back at prior success and get that good mojo going into a game.
Well, and also did that account for the longer pants and the shaven face, too?
So shaven face kind of happened by accident, and I think everybody who has a beard or trims it at one point has done this. So I wanted to take it down because I had let it get really long. It was kind of obnoxious, and so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to take the sides down to a 3, and I'll maybe take the goatee down to like a 4 maybe, and then I got going. I was like, let's just take it all to a 3. So I took it to a 3, and I was like, yeah, but I kind of wanted that goatee to pop a little bit, so I took the sides to a 2, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just take everything lower, and I went to a 2 everywhere, and then I thought, this mustache is kind of annoying, so I took that to a 1, and then I looked at it, and I thought, that looks a little crazy to have it just different like that, so I thought, okay, I'll just take everything to a 1, and we'll just kind of start over, and then I shaved it down so low, I'm like, you know what, I might as well just go ahead and shave the whole thing off. That's kind of how. But, signified. It signified a clean start too. But then the pants down. That came from the from the videos I was watching. I thought, because I didn't start doing only pants up until like 3 years ago. Maybe 4 years, 3 or 4 years ago, I started going pants up because my buddy John Gonzer here in St. Louis, he says, hey, man, I know you only wear pants up on Sundays, but I just got to tell you, every time you wear pants up, you pitch great and you win. So I'm like, well, shoot, gosh, if that's a correlation, I'll give it a try, And so I tried it out, and the next game I think I threw a complete game or something, and I'm like, well, dadgum, okay, here we go. And so then I just kind of got comfortable with that feeling of kind of your pants up, they're out of the way, you don't have to worry about them anymore, and then a lot of people were saying, dude, that's a good look for you. I was like, all right, well, shoot, I'll be a pants up guy. And then I thought, that could be like, when I put the pants up, that's like signifying game time. So, all right, that worked for a long time. And then, I was watching that 14 film, and I'm going, well, dang, that doesn't look too bad, and I'm a pretty good pitcher back then. Maybe I'll give that a try again. And I put them on right before the game. And I've done it so many times in a row now, pants up, it felt kind of awkward. I'm like, I don't know. Do I really want to do this? And so I'm in my pitcher's meeting with Dusty, and I was like, all right, Dusty, your call. Pants up or pants down? He goes, well, you're kind of a pants up guy, but let's go pants down today. I said, all right, there you go. That's how it happened.
Simple.
Very cool. Adam, talk to me.
Dylan Carlson's been trying to get me to go pants down for a while now. He likes, because I throw my bullpens with pants down. Dylan says, dude, you look swaggy when you got your pants down. So that's why.
Adam, I do want to tell you, when people just tuning in and hearing pants up, pants down, they're going to be a little confused. So we are talking about pants leg, not pants down. Just so we're clear. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Hey, y'all need to get your minds out of the gutter.
We have children in the studio, Adam. It's going to happen.
Got five kids at home I'm dealing with, and I got to deal with this too on the radio.
There you go. Adam, talk to us about that win last night. How good that felt to see Tommy Edman hit the game when he hit, see Wilson Contreras get those 2 home runs. How did that feel for that team yesterday, for your team last night?
Well, I tell you, man, it's a good feeling because I'm walking through the dugout last night. I'm going, hey, this game's not over, and then you see guys kind of perk up. It's not over. I think sometimes when you're in a funk, when you get behind, I think you can lay down a little too easy, And so just seeing Wilson get that big hit, that big home run to center field to tie it up, his second of the game. We needed that so bad. We needed somebody to step up and put the team on their back for a day. Wilson did that yesterday. I mean, of course, Goldie gets on base again like he does when we need him to in big spots. He just continues to do that. And Wilson hit the guy was throwing 100 miles an hour, and he throws a nasty pitch below the zone, and Wilson went down and hit that ball. It had to be over 110. On a line to center field, halfway up that berm and center. That's not easy to do, but it was a big time swing, and we had to have it because we just had to, somehow somebody had to get us off the schneid. Somebody had to get the script flipped, and hopefully that leads to a lot of good games here.
Adam Wainwright with us. It's Wednesdays with Waino here on 101 ESPN. And Adam, Alex Cobb, I don't know if you saw this from the Giants, was within an out of a no-hitter last night. He goes 8 2/3. We saw that happen with Wacha in his rookie year here. Why do you think it happens so much that a guy gets 26 but can't get the 27th out? It seems like it happens pretty much.
Man, I watched it. I don't know. My wife and I, anytime we see no-hitter after 7, we turn it on no matter whose game it is. And she loves baseball, too. So we turned it on and saw the first and second out. And then as soon as he hit that ball, I was thinking, oh, no, because you know how it's just a big expanse out there in right field in San Francisco. That's just a lot of ground to cover. I don't know why it happens like that. We saw Miles Michaelis miss one last year, 8 2/3. Fly ball to center field with Harrison Bader out there. You would think for sure that ball's getting caught. If we had him played in a little bit more than normal, and he gets down and Wacha hits the tapper over the mound, it's just like closing the game out. People who don't understand, those last 3 outs are different. Those last 3 outs are different, and it takes a different mindset to get them out. It just does, and it's hard to explain because you think, what's the difference in those 3 outs? The other team's pressing really hard, and pressure's on. The fans are on you. And those last 3 can mess with your psyche a little bit if you're not prepared for it, and sometimes it gets you. But I think with that last out, I don't know what it is. If the other team just gets, lucky, or if it's just because they've gotten out 26 times in a row, and the odds are that they're finally going to get a hit. I don't know what it is, but it does seem like it happens a lot. I remember there was a guy named Dave Steve. I think he had 4 no-hitters broken up in the last inning, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, Toronto. Good memory,
yeah. And I think he ended up throwing one, but his last one that he got broken up in the 9th inning. You got to go back and look at this. It's just a standard ground ball to second, and it hits a rock or something on the ground and kicks 10 feet over the second baseman's head. It's just like no rhyme or reason why that would happen. Just unbelievable bad luck. So I don't know why it happens, but I'd like to try it. I'd like to get to 8 2/3 and try that last out.
Worth the try. And by the way, and I know you believe this, if Adam Wainwright has a no-hitter going, or any Cardinal has a no-hitter going, if Chip Carey and Brad Thompson are tuned in, don't talk about it. You're a big believer in that. The broadcaster should not talk about the no-hitter, right?
Absolutely not. No chance, man. And look, I don't know if I believe in jinxes and curses and all that either, but I'll tell you this. There's no doubt in my mind that as soon as you talk about something that's happening good in baseball, 5 seconds later it's going to end. That's why when we're on the other side of that, I can't tell you how many times this has worked. When we're on the other side of that, somebody's got a no-hitter going, I start telling everybody in the dugout, hey, did y'all know this guy's got a no-hitter going? Man, this guy's got a no-hitter going. And I'm telling you, the next pitch, half the times I do it, the next pitch is a base hit.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Hey, we're so looking forward to participating in the Big League Impact St. Louis Fantasy Football League. It's going to be a lot of fun. It was great to be with you a couple of weeks ago to kick things off. And, man, it's right here. 1 week from tomorrow is the NFL season opener.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, too. I'm really ready for it. It's just, you know what, in this game of baseball, you need some outlets. And I've been telling our young guys this because some of our young guys are baseball-only people. They play a little bit of video games better or whatever, but they go home and they grind about, all right, how am I gonna get better? And which is good to an extent. But you will drive yourself crazy if you do that for 365 days. They need to get hobbies. I don't care if that's, you want to go play golf, that'd be great. Golf's a good one. Fishing, do something, right? Do something that you can do throughout the year, too, that provides a little bit of break away from the mind games that baseball is. And fantasy football is one of those for me. I mean, I love playing fantasy football. I love watching the NFL. I love how good those guys are and how rough it is. I love the game of football itself, college and NFL. But that just it's a good outlet for me, and it's a good outlet for baseball players around the league. And it also provides a lot of camaraderie. You get together, have a big draft, and, then you find yourself talking about it at dinners and all kinds of stuff. It's a good thing to do.
And you can learn more about what's going on with Big League Impact at bigleagueimpact.org. Waino, have a great birthday. Glad that you're playing a day game tonight. Enjoy it with your family tonight, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And if anybody's interested, there, Big League Impact on the website is got a limited edition Waino T-shirt that's only available for a little bit of time because of my birthday today. So anybody wants to support Big League Impact and needs an extra blue T-shirt, go to bigleagueimpact.org and check it out. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Waino. Appreciate it. Adam Wainwright with us on 101 ESPN. Go to bigleagueimpact.org and get that shirt today. And Adam insists that all of his shirts, he tries them on, that they're very soft and comfortable. So I can guarantee you, because I have like 3 Adam Wainwright shirts, that they are all of high quality. And so if you order one from bigleagueimpact.org, you're going to like it.
Yeah, I like the one the other day from Big League Impact from the fantasy camp, that grade one. It's so comfy.
Very nice, very nice. We're going to head down the stretch here on this edition of the Opening Drive next on 101 ESPN. The Schnucks Rewards app is so great. It truly does reward you. You get 2% back on every single purchase you make at Schnucks. If you're getting ready for a great Labor Day barbecue, did you realize that Labor Day is coming up on Monday? If you're getting ready for a Labor Day barbecue, first thing you need to do is download the Schnucks Rewards app. Second thing you need to do is head on over to Schnucks and shop and earn and redeem. Whether you're just having a regular meal or maybe you're going to have a feast, make sure that you get everything that you need for that feast at Schnucks, and they will have everything that you want. If you want to have a fantastic entree, a perfect piece of steak, maybe you want to get burgers or brats or hot dogs, they're going to have great deals this weekend when you head to Schnucks. And then you obviously have to get buns, and you have to get produce, you have to get lettuce and tomato if you're going to have burgers, and then you have to head over to the best bakery in town. They have beautiful brioche buns there and get a fantastic dessert, and then everything else you need. And when you put that list into your Schnucks Rewards app, it's actually going to guide you through the store, the next aisle that you need to go to, so that your shopping experience is very efficient. It's the Schnucks Rewards app. Get 2% back on every purchase you make when you head to Schnucks. Cards and Padres wrapping up their 3-game series today at the ballpark, 1:15. Tickets still available if you'd like to head on over to see Miles Michaelis pitch against Rich Hill. Should be a beautiful afternoon, and we hope you'll enjoy it. We also want you to head on over to Blues and Brews September 22nd at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for the blues season at an outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Chris Lane and local blues musician Marquise Knox. Appearances by blues players and alumni and food trucks, blues merch, 101 ESPN giveaways, and more. Tickets on sale now at 101ESPN.com, and additional event details are there as well. And you purchase your tickets for Blues and Brews on September 22nd at 101ESPN.com. Great job today by our producer, audio engineer, the one, the only Matthew Rocchio.
Pleasure.
And Brooke, this was fun.
How about that?
How about that?
CD?
I love all those.
Show us your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You want to see my face?
And you can hear all our interviews, Greg Amsinger, Adam Wainwright, and more on the 101 ESPN app or at 101ESPN.com, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. For all of us, we thank you for tuning in, texting in, and being a part of the show. And until tomorrow morning at 7, have a great hump day, St. Louis.
That's right.